Yeah. What's cracking? We back. You already know what it is. Heart of the city. You know what I'm saying? Where we go around all New York City area sports. You name it. We got the NBA playoff chase hot on deck for the night. Also, we're gonna get into the NCAA Final Four. We're gonna talk about that. Baseball spring training is over. We getting into the regular season now. Yankees, Mets, releasing a starting lineup, opening day lineups, and of course, as always, we're gonna talk about the Giants and the Jets, and get into a little bit of mock draft and a little bit of draft talk, man. So, action-packed show tonight. We missed y'all last week, but we are back and we are better than ever, man. And we're gonna give it to y'all, man, the real spill. But before we get into everything, as I always like to do, say what's up to my two co-hosts and to my chat, man. What's up, everybody? What's good, man? How y'all feeling out there? What's good, Jeff? What's good, Coach? How y'all feeling?
Ready to go out, read, and attack all the sports topics around the city, and we'll make sure we'll be giving you some good Giants conversations all around the heart of the city.
Good one. I like that, man. What's good with you, Coach, man? How you feeling over there, man? Mr. X's and O's. What's up, man? Talk to us.
I'm good. I'm good. Just working hard. Reading and attacking, like Jeff just said. The sports
Yeah.
out there. Trying to make it happen. How about you? How's everything with you?
I'm good, man. I'm gravy, man. Ready to talk some sports, man. Ready to get into all the action, man. Let's set out to the chat, man. What's good, Levance, man? Always looking forward to Heart of the City, man. Much love and respect. Much love and respect to you too, my brother, man. Hope everything is
On the
always well
menu.
with you. Yeah, always got something special, man. Most definitely, man. Um, Tommy, what's good, Tommy, man? How you feeling, man? Says much love to the panel and all Giants. Maximus Jones will hoist up the trophy, screaming out, "Are y'all not entertained?" Good one. That's right, Coach, man. Hit that like button, y'all, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. Pull up to the show, man. Please show support for me and to my two co-hosts, man. Um, much love and respect as always to Miss
And
Nisi
you
Wise.
see,
Love and respect to you. Always supporting the show, man. Peace. What's good? What's good evening, man? Good to see everybody, man. Good to have everybody back, man. We live, we in the building, man. Let's get into a little bit of the NBA to set it off. Football's dying down a little bit, but stay tuned because we're gonna do a definite live mock draft for the Jets and the Giants. And we also gonna talk some baseball and NCAA, like I said. But let's talk about the basketball, the NBA right now. The playoffs push is coming upon us. Right now, as it currently stands, as I'm looking at the standings, we have the Knicks in fifth and the Brooklyn Nets in holding down the sixth spot. Now, the Nets, as it stands, they're actually tied with Miami, but I think they have the tiebreaker due to head to head, right?
yeah, we swept them all three times.
3-0.
We beat them 3-0.
They're in good position. The Knicks, on the other hand, it looks like they're kind of locking themselves into that fifth spot. Unless the Nets somehow catch them. They got a 2.5 game lead right now. Looks like the Cavs are sitting pretty good, as well as the Sixers. And the Miami Heat down there in seventh, Hawks in eighth, Raptors ninth, Bulls 10th. But the most interesting race right now actually is between the Knicks, Nets, and Heat. And that is the fight to stay out of the play-in game. Don't want to be in that play-in game. So after a great win by the Brooklyn Nets, they had a disastrous loss to the Orlando Magic. And they were getting waxed. So again, this team, as I've stated, is very, very inconsistent, and it's because they don't have a true closer, a true, guy that can really get it done, man. Mikal Bridges is doing everything he can, but at the end of the day, it's just not enough. and he's still a developing player. But we're gonna talk about that, man. But to me, I think the Nets kind of got the upper hand on the sixth spot, but does it really matter? I mean, honestly, does anybody think this team is gonna really do anything in the playoffs? If they were to get there, they're probably gonna face Philadelphia, and I hate Philly like the next man does. but I mean, let's keep it a buck, man. This Brooklyn Nets team ain't beating nobody in a 5 or 7 game series, I should say. So what do y'all think, man? How y'all think it's gonna play out, man? I think it's gonna play out actually how it is now. Knicks 5th, Nets 6th, and Heat 7th. But what you think, man? Jeffrey, coach, man, y'all get in there. Mets, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through, man. Stopping by. Levan says mustard chicken strips and chicken flavored rice.
Is that a rub or is that a sauce they use it with the mustard? Like a rub? Yeah. It's gotta be a sauce.
Nah, you put mustard on them, man, and you it's a secret, man. It's
yeah. I don't know if it's like a rub or something. You put a rub on the chicken and you cook it. I don't know what the
nah, you marinate it in mustard. I think that's what he's talking about, but
okay.
I could be wrong. Heat can get into 7th. Yeah, they are in 7th right now. I think they probably stay there. Behind them right now is the Atlanta Hawks, and they got a 3-game lead on them. So
yeah.
Atlanta ain't doing nothing. So, but what y'all think, man? How y'all think this gonna play out, man? With the NBA.
Well, I mean, if I had to play it out, I honestly think the Knicks are going to be the 5th seed because I think as long as they don't collapse these next 6-7 games of the season, I think the Knicks are pretty much solidified that they're going to be the number 5 seed, and it looks like they got a date with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round.
Yeah, Nisi says it. There you go. The mustard gives the chicken extra flavor. Yeah,
thank you.
It's good stuff.
I gotta try it out sometime. But
yeah, marinated in mustard. Yeah.
I do believe that. I think I think, coach, for your team, I could see you guys are going to probably have a first round matchup with Cleveland, unless either one of those teams just falls apart these last couple of games, and either the Nets or the Heat are able to get up to the 5th seed. I think it's going to be Knicks and Cavs. You might as well get ready to face off against that Cavs team. So, and we know firsthand, after that disaster we had in the second game against Cleveland, where I don't know how they managed to choke that game away, but they did it. So, I mean, NYG's favorite player, Dorian Finney-Smith, at his finest. So, I mean, the Nets pretty much at this point, if they can't get it done, and they got 6 of the last games, or 7 games are at home. They got Houston, Atlanta, Utah, and Minnesota in their 4-game home stretch starting tomorrow night. You're talking about some of the worst teams in the NBA and a Hawks team that they should beat. And Minnesota, who they beat recently. Detroit is probably the worst team in the NBA. You figure they're going to want to get revenge against Orlando, and maybe, just maybe, Philadelphia is going to be playing, the last game of the season as hard because they might be locked already in that 3rd seed, and maybe they're going to rest Embiid and Harden. So I think the Nets have the opportunity to get that 6th seed, but I don't know if I feel completely comfortable that the Heat can't jump them, and the Nets might be playing themselves in the playing game because this team is so erratic. And after what I've seen with this team, I mean, even Dinwiddie was miserable the last game. He shot 0 for 11. I mean,
the only consistent player has been Mikal Bridges.
And Claxton, I guess, to a degree. Claxton's been pretty good.
Nick Clax, man, he do his best big man impression, man. But I mean, he's it, scoring. Man. Yeah, he's doing it. He's holding up the dirty work, man. Let me say what's up to a couple brothers pulling up, man. Mitch, man, what's good, man? Appreciate you, man. Says what's up, guys. Rodney, what's good,
what's
man?
Up, Rodney?
Appreciate you pulling up, Rodney, man. Says what's good, everybody.
Good to see you, Rodney. Long time no speak, bro. But I mean, the one thing that frustrates me with this team so much is you see guys like Edmund Sumner, you see guys like Yuta Watanabe, you see guys like Day'Ron Sharp, Like, why are these guys not consistently playing more? You notice a trend that when you challenge somebody like Day'Ron Sharp, when they signed Moses Brown, the kid from LA, to a
Yeah,
10-day
yeah,
contract, all of a
yeah.
sudden you see Day'Ron Sharp turn it up, and he's actually been one of our better players in these last 5 games. What's with the start and stop with this guy? Cam Thomas, who was scoring 40 points in 3 consecutive games. Now he can't see the floor, but I understand why. As much as Breezy and some others love this kid, let's just be real. The guy's a one-dimensional player if he can't score right now. He can't do anything else to help the team. And I mean,
You
Joe
talking about
Harris.
Cam Thomas?
Yeah, he's one-dimensional. I hate to say it. The guy can't help out right now on
They
defense.
they
and he
don't
turns the
they
ball over
don't
too
like
much.
this dude, man. I'm telling you right now, it's
No.
something going on where I don't think they like.
He turns
Cam
it over
Thomas.
too much. He can't do much else, unfortunately, besides shoot. And when he's not on his when he's not on his game, unfortunately, the guy can't do anything much else on the court. And it's a shame because he's so talented. But the Nets have just got to find a way to play more consistently. And if Mikal Bridges is not going out there and scoring 20, 30, 40 points a game, if Claxton's not going out there and scoring or getting 10 rebounds and 3 or 4 blocks, nobody else on this team can do anything. Cam Johnson has come back down to earth. Besides one game he had against the Heat where he shot well, he played horrible against the Magic. Finney Smith went back to being like crap against the Magic after he had that one good game. He was good against the Heat, but he went back to being garbage again. I mean, Dinwiddie, I can't hate Dinwiddie as much because he's actually been one of the better players on this team besides the Magic game. That was his worst game since coming back. He's actually been consistent for the most part, except for a couple of nights ago. I mean, the bench, what the hell are we doing with this bench? I mean, Seth Curry is out now more than he's playing. Mr. Invisible has got shut down for the season. Shocker. I mean,
hold up, cause that right there, Mr. Invisible. This dude, he has definitely, really been so bad for this team. Like, you gave this team 42 games. You scored 6 points, 6 rebounds, and like 6 assists or something like that.
7 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists for a guy in the next 2 seasons that's going to be making $77 million.
Say that again. How much?
$77 million over the next 2 seasons. 78, if you want to round it up. Yeah. 7 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds in 42 games in 2 seasons.
Oh, my bad, Mitch. Try that one. Yeah,
I would take Julius Randle any day of the week, even with him being a malcontent than what we've had to deal with Ben Simmons, because at least Randle can he can produce. At least Randle, for a headache he is, he can go out there and put up 20 plus points a game. Simmons can't even put up 6.
I hear you. Dang. Don't get
Breezy, what's good, man?
Amnesty clause, please.
Yeah, man.
Please, God, do it. I mean, my God. Joe Harris?
Breezy, you can hit the link if you want to. Also, Rodney, if you want to come on, we're going to talk about the Giants here in a little bit. If you want to pop on when we get to the Giants.
What are we doing here? I mean, where's the consistency with this team on the bench? Who? The cackling hyenas now hopped on. By the way, get ready for James Harden's choke fest in about a couple of weeks. So just be on the lookout for that.
Hey, at least my player's playing right now.
Yeah, and he's going to choke you out of the playoffs. So
that'll be under Doc Rivers as well.
The thing about it is more than likely it's going to be Nets Sixers in the first round. So I would not say count your chickens before they hatch, as they say, because you never know. This team, if they somehow get it together, they might give you some problems. I ain't saying they're gonna take the series, but they could very well give the Sixers some difficulty in the first round with their defense. You know what I'm saying? So
I think you guys will take one game.
Well, I'll say this too. Who on that Sixers team do you trust besides Embiid to go out there and make a big shot? Do you trust Harden? Do you trust Maxey?
I trust
Anybody
Harden
else on
to
your
a
team?
degree. I trust Harden more than Tobias.
Tell
But
him you.
let me before I let the Sixers fan take over the show, let me get let me get my other two brothers in here, man. What's good, Breezy, man? What's good with you, Coach? We haven't
Yo,
touched on the Knicks. But before we get to that, Breezy, man, what's your thoughts on this Nets team, real quick, man? Because I haven't spoken to you for a while, man. Appreciate you popping on. You already know what it is, but what's your thoughts, man? What you think the expectation is? I'm personally, me and Jeff kind of agree. We think they stay steady at 6, but what do you think about the team and how they've been playing lately? Because I've been highly disappointed personally.
for one, I'm glad we back. Shout to Jeff, shout to Coach, shout to Mitch. The heart of the city back at it. Missed 1 week out of like 100. You know what I mean? Took care of some business or whatever was necessary. I wanted to say shout to the chat. I seen Levance in the comments.
You
What I'm
know.
saying, being just big support, you know what I mean, from the chat.
Mhm.
Just off that 1 week that we missed, but still right back at it. So I just wanted to stop and say that before anything. But yeah, I think that I agree with you and Jeff about a lot of the stuff that y'all said about the Nets. I just feel like with Cam Thomas, he's a scorer, and even though he might not add a lot more to the Brooklyn Nets besides scoring. So there's times where I've seen the Nets go on scoring droughts. So I want to see Jack Vaughn implement him in the roster when he deems necessary. He doesn't have to start. But my thing is, you don't want to start Cam, but he's a better scorer than Doe. And Doe been putting up bricks since he got here. Since the trade, Dinwiddie and McCall been the better half of the trade. Doe and CJ, I could take a leave. But I think CJ, I think Twin is more competitive than he is. I won't say he's not talented. I just need to see him use that pump fake more. I need him to, since the defense knows that we're a 3-point shooting team, I need him to use that pump fake and look for the midi or look to drive the basket so that way he could be a more impactful player on the offensive side of the ball. But I like Twin. And you see what Mikal Bridges is doing. I like him as well. Jokingly, I'll say he weighed #1 because he's gonna bring the Nets their first championship. I don't know how much a stretch that is, but you know what I mean. That's just me being a big fan, being optimistic. But that being said, to what Jeff said, I like our bench. I like Ed Sumner. But I wish he could stay healthy. I like Cam Thomas. I just wish that he doesn't play a role and he could play more freely. Anytime you see him take a step back three, I think that's his shot selection because he likes to step back three, but it's because he's playing a role of taking the three in the first place. I think Mikal Bridges got the green light to do whatever from the coaching staff. And I don't want to say I want to see the same in Cam Thomas, but I definitely want to see him take more of his shot selection inside of the 3-point line. We ain't got much time to get it together. We got we got 7 more games, and I feel like Philly is not a lock at 3. So we don't know if we're gonna play them. And Cleveland is not a lock at 4. I think that could toggle. I think 5 is gonna be the Knicks or the Nets, or even Miami for that matter.
Yeah, talk
But
about it.
that
True.
but that being said, it's like even now when you check, I've been checking the scoreboard. We don't play tonight, but shit, Cleveland play, and I think it's some other important games that decide what the East Coast playoff standings is going to look like. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see Jack Vaughn put it all together, and I'm anxious, honestly. And to move forward with the conversation, I'm anxious because as much as the playoffs are important, these 7 games going into the playoffs are important, not just for seeding, but for chemistry. Because the difference between a team and the playoffs is that you play the same team over and over for at least a minimum of 4 games. And when you play in a different team like we are with these last 7 games, it's going to be about X's and O's and efficiency. And the better you are as a team when it comes down to efficiency, you could beat anybody. For example, we just lost to the Orlando Magic because in that same night they had 30 assists. The night before that, when we whooped on Miami, we had 30 assists. So to me, it's about ball motion, ball movement. And that same night we beat Miami, we had 6 players in double digits.
Yep.
So, there's some things that I pull away from the game to say this is what we need to do every game for us to be competitive going forward.
It's consistency, bro. And that's what ultimately I think the Nets are lacking. It's just consistency. You're right. On a given
It's
night,
frustration too. It's the one thing. I apologize for interrupting, but
nah, go ahead.
I don't get the thing what they're doing with Day'Ron Sharp. This guy to me has shown flashes that he should have been playing more this entire time, and it's just like stop, start, stop, start. You see him play well, then he sits, then he plays well. Does this maybe this guy needs
What's
to
good,
be pushed?
Bookends? What's good, man?
Because
Appreciate you coming through.
you notice like when they sign guys like Nerlens Noel and you sign Moses Brown, now you start seeing the best out of Day'Ron Sharp, and this guy is our best offensive rebounder on the team. He is an offensive rebounding gem on this basketball team, and you wonder, that's the frustrating part is you see him, you see Patty Mills, even when he gets opportunities, is able to light it up at times on the scoreboard, and even Sumner. I know Sumner gets hurt a lot, but it's just the inconsistency with some of these guys that should be getting opportunities, but they're not. And that's what gets me frustrated the most with Jacques Vaughn, especially when I highlight somebody like Day'Ron Sharp.
Day'Ron Sharp, even Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
As we've said, I told you guys I don't like Dorian Finney-Smith. And I mean, but what do we have? You know what I'm saying? And to your point, Day'Ron Sharp should be playing more because the Nets are constantly getting out rebounded, especially on the offensive rebound and end.
Right.
But before we get in, man, let's let Coach get in here, man. Because the Knicks are part of this conversation. And I just want to get your overall thoughts on where you think this team is, and do you think they hold steady at 5? Do you think they move up? Do you think they slip into the play-in game? Or what's your overall feeling right now? Because as I've said, it seems to be the battles between the Knicks, Nets, and Miami Heat to stay out of that playoff play-in round. What's your thoughts, Coach?
First off, shout out to everybody in the chat for being here today. Thank you for the support. Number two, and I talked about it. You guys will hear it on my Reading Attack show. What the NBA right now has met, they've done a phenomenal job with the schedule. I mean, to sit here and look at, I mean, even the teams outside the play-in, there are teams that have a shot. I mean, even Orlando is not even out of it. And I'm sitting down and I'm looking at the games right now. The Wizards are up by 15 in the fourth quarter on the Celtics. The Heat, the Raptors are up on the Heat in the third quarter, 7-58.
Let's go.
The Cavaliers, we talked about that. The Bucks are up on the Cavaliers. The Grizzlies are getting blown out by the Magic. The Grizzlies are blowing out the Magic. But the point is, and then if you go look at everyone's schedule, I mean, it seems like the teams are playing each other somewhere there. So it really right now it's in everyone's hands. That's just the bottom line. It's in everyone's hands. Jeff, you just went over the Nets. I mean, Orlando, they have the Grizzlies today. They have the Wizards, the Pistons, the Cavaliers twice back to back, the Nets and the Heat. I mean, that's a lot of playoff teams right there. The Pacers. The Pacers have the Bucks, the Thunder, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the Pacers, and then the Knicks again. A lot of playoff teams. The Wizards. They're playing the Celtics. They have the Magic. They have the Knicks, the Bucks, the Hawks, the Heat, and then they close out with the Rockets. I mean, if you go through and look at everyone's schedule, you're going to be seeing that same trend right here in the East. So, right now, kudos to the NBA for putting that together. I have to admit, I mean, it's definitely, as a basketball fan, it's fun to see. As far as the Knicks, right now, I mean, they play the Heat tomorrow. Then they have the Cavaliers on Friday. So they host the Heat, go to the Cavaliers, host the Wizards, go to the Pacers, go to the Pelicans, and then host the Pacers to close out the season. And every last one of those teams are fighting, whether for playoff positioning or play in to get into the play-in. Even the Pelicans, they're in there. They're in. I believe they're in the play-in out west. So
Yeah, New Orleans is 38 and 37. The West is yeah, it's weird. It
if
But
you
hold on. I wanted to add to what the coach was saying about the scheduling. I totally agree because it makes the play-in situation that much more interesting because
Yes.
every team is still competing. No team, like since for
Mhm.
instance, you could see that Portland. They're not going to compete. They just said Dame is not going to play until next season. So they're like basically saying, "All right, we're out." You know what I mean? But for the most part, the other 29 teams, or what I'm saying is the play-in tournament made it the whole NBA engaged. Like
Yeah.
before, it was like we know we a team like Orlando, and I was saying this, but prior that they a real rebuilding team, and I'm just comparing it to like what the Brooklyn Nets are doing. They saying, oh, it's a rebuild or retool. Orlando, they got them draft picks year to year, big like high draft picks from year to year, and then you see them getting these pieces, but they still in a situation to where they want to compete. Listening to the commentators the other day, they won 9 more games last season than this season. So to us, we might look
Mm.
at them like they not a success because of what we trying to do. But to the fans, of Orlando fans, Magic fans, they like, oh nah, we good. I like what direction we're going. So you know what I'm saying? I see that the direction sometimes the teams are more optimistic. Again, look at the Knicks, and to add to what Coach saying, to segue into what he was about to say about the Knicks. The Knicks are in a situation where they control their destiny between 5 and 6 because they got a 3-game gap. They won that last game. They jumped out. We ain't take advantage by beating Orlando, but these teams are not weak. I think
Yeah.
that's the difference
It's only
between the
four
NBA
teams.
then and the team NBA before. The teams used to really be weaker. Now these teams are kind of competitive, all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only four teams that's currently eliminated. I mean, this late in the season, only four that's currently officially eliminated. That's the
Playing one
Hornets,
of them tomorrow night.
the Pistons, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Houston Rockets. So
Hmm.
to your point, Breezy, everyone's still in it, and it makes it exciting for everyone
Mm-hmm.
that is an
And the
NBA
schedule,
fan.
because of the schedule, like Coach was saying.
Hmm.
Look at the schedule. You see who play the teams that's versus each other in these next 2 weeks of basketball, regular season basketball. Like it's interesting. This shit is playoff intensity.
Hmm.
Look at the East right here. I threw up the standings right now in the East and the West. You look at the Eastern Conference; it's only separated from 5 to about 8. It's separated by at least 3-4 games. So any one of these teams could easily go on a little bit of a run and jump right back into the playing game. I mean, the Raptors, they're tied with the Hawks right now. If they finish off the Heat and the Hawks lose tonight to the Cavs, Raptors are in number 8. So this is a big
Hmm.
game for them. And then you look at the West. Look at that Western Conference. I mean, just everybody check it out. From 4th seed all the way down to, you could even count the Mavericks, which have fun with that, Kyrie. But you look at the 11th seed. It's separated by at least 3.5 games between 4 and 11. Who's to say that the Thunder or the Mavs can't go on a 3 or 4 game winning streak to end the season? They could jump all the way up to 6th place. That's how close it is. I mean, I'd probably say the Eastern Conference has got a lot more better, stronger teams. But the Western Conference is probably a more balanced conference overall because there's no dominant team. Even Denver has sort of come back down to the pack. So I like the competitive balance and like what you guys were saying. It's fun with the way they're scheduling all these games and how important they feel going into the end of the season and making every game feel like a do or die situation. Trying to get yourself and then at least in that playing game because you don't know. You don't know. You could be a team that struggled all season. Just all you got to do is get in that playing game, and maybe you could catch one of those other C's that might have been playing better than you all season on a bad day, and then there you go. You're in the top 8. So I
So
love it.
let me ask Mitch this. I do want you to engage in the conversation, Mitch, man. Glad you coming through with us, man.
Yeah, of
Rapping with us
course, of
tonight.
course.
I'll shut
Um
this down.
so as far as the potential matchups for the Sixers, who I believe are gonna hold on to the 3 seed as of right now. They could catch Boston, I think, but I think more than likely they're gonna finish in 3. What would be, in your opinion, the better matchup? Would it be the Knicks? Would it be the Nets? Or would it be the Miami Heat in that 6th position?
I want the Nets. I want the Nets
Let's go.
because of I mean, I'm just saying this right now. The Knicks are on a bit of a hot streak, so I am kind of nervous about them, but not really. But when it comes to Miami Heat, we did not beat them last year, or that was 2 years ago or whatever. But yeah, they're a better team and they're on the hunt. Jimmy Butler, they're on the hunt. So give me the Nets. Give me the Nets. I think we can win that series in 5.
What would make you think that you could win the series in 5? Because we just want an analysis on why you
Easy.
feel that this would be a better matchup for you as opposed to the other 2 teams I mentioned.
Well, because the Brooklyn Nets, right? They're a good young team. They're a good young team. All the young people together. It's just, I think there will be easier matchup for us. Will Claxton have a hard time guarding Embiid? Can he hold Embiid down low? I don't know. James Harden, can you imagine that animosity between the 2 teams? Just the storylines in general. So, give me the Heat. And when it comes to the Knicks, we don't have good defense to guard Brunson. I mean, Harden, Maxey, the best defender in our backcourt is Anthony Melton. So I don't think we can guard him as well. And then when you go to Miami, their team is deep. It's deep. Our bench sucks. So
I think the Knicks are a bad matchup for you. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with their size as well. I mean, I think Randall, I think Hartenstein, I think Robinson, those guys are going to present problems for that Sixers front court. Because besides Embiid, who's a real force on that front court for the
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Paul Reed. Paul Reed. PJ Tucker. No. Paul Reed. Because the guy is young, athletic, rebound. He had 16 points in 16 minutes last night. And Doc benched him for Dwayne Dedman. And our front court is.
You know why? I think that that series would be intriguing if it was the Knicks and the Sixers. And I think the 2 players that could really change the whole series. For the Knicks, it's easily Emmanuel Quickly. That guy is really stepped up his game recently, and he has become probably a top 3 player on that Knicks team right now. I'd probably take Barrett out, and I would put Quickly in as that top 3 player on that basketball team right now. He's really stepped up his game in the past few. And for the Sixers, it's Tyrese Maxey. If Maxey could really take that next step in his evolution for the Sixers, he could really take that team to the next level too. So those 2 guys, and if it was the Nets, for me, it's Cam Johnson. Yeah. Cam Johnson to me is that X factor because when that guy gets it going from behind the arc, Cam Johnson can light it up for 20 plus. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's been off lately with his shot, but when he's able to get it going, he can put up 15, 20, 25 points.
Y'all split with the Knicks, Mitch?
I think we're.
I think y'all split, right?
Yeah, we split this year. Yeah, we split.
Where did y'all go against Miami? I'm trying to look at it.
I think we're 2-2 or
lost
3-1, if I'm not mistaken. But I think we still have got Miami coming up. So I'm looking at the schedule now. We got the Mavericks, Raptors. We got the Heat again on Thursday.
Yeah, so this will be the 3rd game. Right now, y'all 1-1.
Yeah, we're 1-1. So, yeah, we got a tough schedule coming out. We got the Mavs, Raptors, Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Hawks, Nets.
You got no excuse. If we can't beat the teams left on our schedule, our toughest game is the Sixers. No excuses why we can't at least win 4 or 5 games on this last. We got the Timberwolves we beat. We got the Pistons, the last road game of the season. We got the Magic. Well, we already got our asses kicked by them the first time. We got the Magic. We got the Rockets. We got who else do we got? Our schedule is not that difficult. We should be able to handle business for the most part. I'm looking for You want me to be honest, guys? I'm looking for 4 or 5 wins in these last 7. There's no reason why we can't do that.
Wow.
Look
Okay.
at the schedule. Look at the
I
schedule.
can
There's
see
no
that.
reason why we can't
I
do that.
can see that.
You got the Rockets, the Hawks, the Jazz, the
There you
Timberwolves,
go, Lou.
and
Links in the chat, bro.
How did Bronny not start? What?
Um,
and
Watching the McDonald's All American game. and
let's
Bronny not starting.
let's talk real quick. Before we get over into the Giants part of the segment. Want to talk about this basketball Hall of Fame class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the finalists are
Here, I got it.
Marion Washington, Dwayne Wade, Greg Popovich, Tony Parker, Dirk Nowitzki, Gene Keedy, David Hickson, Becky Hammond, Paul Gasol, Gary Blair, Jeannie Bess, and Jennifer Azizi.
That's it. I like it.
What are your thoughts? I'm gonna kick this one over to Coach. What are your thoughts about that particular group?
Coach Keating right there. Wow, that's just a lot right there. Just Purdue, what he's done throughout the. I mean, remember he coached Glenn Robinson. He coached him up to be that #1 player back in the day. I mean, coach Becky Hammond. I mean,
Becky Hammond, yeah.
undrafted player to go to the Liberty and do what she did, then go to Antonio, and then transition into coaching to what she's done. Coaching in the men's game as well as she did, she should have had a better opportunity to coach in the men's game.
I agree.
I mean, Jennifer Aziz. Oh man, her game was the one to be appreciated. I mean, Dwayne Wade. I mean, this class is deep.
It's lit, man. Tony Parker, man. Dirk Nowitzki, man.
Should I even bring up that top 75 again? How Tony Parker did not make it?
That's
it was the NBA list.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We'll just stop right
what's your thoughts though, Jeff, on the Hall of Fame class, new basketball Hall of Fame finalists?
Well, I mean, the one guy I'm going to single out immediately is Dwayne Wade. I mean, Dwayne Wade was easily one of the best players during that entire period from when he got drafted in that really good 2003 class. I mean, you want to talk about Mr. Intangible, one of the toughest players I've ever seen growing up in the NBA? That was Dwayne Wade. Clutch shooting, good defense. The heart and soul of that Miami Heat team. No, it was not LeBron James. It was Dwayne Wade. That was the heart and soul of that Miami Heat trio down over there. Dwayne Wade is just – the dude was one of the best players and one of the best guards I've seen probably – is it even a stretch to say in the modern era? Like, would you put him up there as one of the best guards to ever play in the modern era?
Oh, yeah. He's easily a top 5 shooting guard. Easily top 5.
What are we talking about modern era? How far are we going back? Because
that's 20, 30 years. 20, 30 years for what he's done in the game.
Since 2000, I give you 2000. That's 23 years ago. I would say, he's up there. Yeah, around top 5-ish. Far as two guards now. I'm just talking strictly shooting guards.
You got, let's see, you got Dwayne Wade. I got to put Klay Thompson in there. I got to put AI in there. I gotta put
AI point though.
He's like a point guard. He's like a point
AI guard. To me, he was going up as a shooting guard. Like, there's my jersey right there.
I'm talking about true shooting guard. So you talking about
a combo.
He's a combo.
Kobe, you talking about, I give you Klay Thompson.
James Harden.
Yeah, hell no.
You got to. For the time he had in Houston, you got to.
Harden is a combo guard. If you're gonna do that for AI, he's a combo guard.
I'm not putting AI in there. I'm talking about shooting guards.
If you're saying AI is a combo guard,
Reggie Miller,
combo guard.
Nah, Reggie Miller's more than 90s.
Ray Allen. If you're looking at shooting guards, Ray Allen.
You gotta say Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Okay.
Yeah,
you gotta say Klay.
You have to.
You gotta say Reggie Miller. 3. Dwayne
Reggie
Wade 4.
Miller's
90.
Reggie Miller's more 90s era.
Oh,
Not, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Reggie
So
Miller.
Dwayne Wade, so that's 3. Who else am I forgetting here? If you're not counting Iverson,
Kobe.
Kobe.
4.
Yeah,
4.
Kobe's up there.
So that's
You know what
4.
I'm saying?
Where do you put Manu?
Who?
Ginobili.
Nobody.
Oh, Manu.
Is he more 90s or he's like right on there
He's like he's like right there.
because remember that's
Mm.
isn't that when they started their championship run in 2000?
I think a little bit before, like
Yeah.
97. I think when they beat
think
your team first. It was like the
Well,
first
that
championship they
team was the David Robinson, Tim
Yeah.
Duncan team. That's when Tim Duncan was a rookie. That wasn't that. No, that team was later on. The
Yeah.
Parker Ginobili team was after that.
had. Yeah.
I'm asking about Ginobili. I mean,
So yeah, he has to be put in that group.
Would you put him over Clay Thompson? I
Mm-mm.
can't.
I will put Clay over.
I gotta put Clay
I gotta
over
put
him.
Clay over. I gotta put Clay.
that's why I was saying that's a good one.
Mm.
Hey, Kobe.
It's an argument. It's an
Kobe's
argument.
number 1, no matter what. Kobe's number 1.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You can say you might say D Wade is fighting for that 2 to 3 spot. Just because overall, like when you combine in a two-way guard, like defensive, offensive guards that can rebound. We're not just talking about shooting guards. When you talking about Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, even Clay to a degree, even though they more shooters. We talking about scoring guards. You know what I'm saying? Some say shooting guard, but really in the heyday, in the era, it was a scoring guard.
Now, if Booker was in that era, would you put Booker there?
No, he doesn't have the defensive prowess like
If
Wade
you're
does
talking
or
about pure
Kobe
scoring,
does.
you gotta put Booker in there. If you're talking
Pure scoring, yes. But if you're talking about overall, I got to put Clay and I got to put Wade over them. Those guys are better overall because they're good shooters. But I'll say this, NYG, Clay Thompson can score from anywhere on the court too. I mean, the guy can go out. He can lay it up. He has a good mid-range shot, and he is so underrated defensively. When you get into the playoffs, Clay is a very good defensive player.
Clay is hurt because of Steph. His
Yes.
game is that much better.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So, and then when KD was there, so that's why it's like when you really look at his game and you factor in now, it hurts him. I mean, it hinders him, but it also hurts him because you also played with Steph. So it's
McGrady.
McGrady is in the 90s to me.
No.
Yeah,
Not Vince Carter. Well, maybe Vince Carter.
Vince Carter was a small forward. McGrady was a small forward. I'm just talking about their traditional position. When they came into the
Carter
league,
played guard.
Carter was a small forward.
Carter was a shooting guard.
McGrady played guard more than Vince Carter did.
He was probably I think he was a combo guard and forward.
Nah, Vince Carter was what 6'6", 6'7". He played
Yeah,
small forward.
they said he played shooting guard and small forward.
Yeah,
And
when he
occasionally
came out
even
as
played power forward.
he came out as a small forward though. Yeah.
So I just found a website of like the top modern guards, and they had Iverson 11, Ginobili at 10, Alvin Robinson. No, it's just Ray Allen. There's him at 8. Fat Lever. Are you serious?
They're doing all time.
I know. I'm just looking at it just to see if there's
Don't sleep.
one is fun.
Don't sleep on Fat Lever. I'm telling you, don't.
I
I'm
ain't
not.
sleeping
I'm
on
just
him
shocked
at all.
there.
McGrady
McGrady at 3, Dwayne Wade at 2, Michael Jordan at 1.
To a couple comments. Tommy says
wait a minute.
We've been balling on both ends of the court. Nomad says Wade over AI and Thompson if I'm building a team. Yeah.
If I'm disagreement out of me.
I'm an Iverson guy. I'm sorry, man, but
I'm taking Wade. I'm taking Wade.
I can see an argument.
I'm
an Iverson guy, man.
I'm taking Iverson. I'm sorry.
I'm taking Iverson too. Tommy said he was unstoppable, man. You could not guard that dude. Like
so was Wade. So was Wade when he was in his prime.
But that dude was like 6 inches smaller than D Wade, but he played like a 6'6"
How
guard.
tall was Wade? Let's see. He
He's
was a
like
big.
6'5", 6'6", yeah.
6'5", 6'6".
Wade is 6'3", 6'4". I thought he was 6'3".
Yeah, Wade. I thought Wade was small. He's 6'4". He's not that big of
4,
a
okay,
player.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I was off a little bit, but
Allen
um,
Iverson.
building a team around Klay Thompson, no way. You're building a
Ignorant.
team around Wade. Yeah, I'm not building a team around Klay Thompson. To me, he's more of a shooter. I know he can play defense. He's
Guys, underrate that dude. You
No, I
underrate how
love
good Klay
traditionally
Thompson is.
him.
the no one stop AI system by minorities. That was
Where's Kobe on that list?
Huh?
Yeah, I agree, Tommy.
On that-
Deion Jordan.
No,
No,
he
bro, it was small and ran
Recent-
into Shaq and Kobe. Yeah, that's right, Matt.
You know
man.
that's my favorite Sixers team of all time because that's the only time I saw him in the finals.
Can't compare Thompson with Wade or Wade with AI. AI has way more odds against him. The whole league was against him. He overcame it, took the Sixers team to the finals. They didn't stand a chance. Yeah, all they had was a washed up. You should know that team, Mitch. If you've been watching your team for a while, you know all they had was a washed up. God dang it. You can't name outside of Dikembe Mutombo. It's hard to name. It's hard to name. I think
Eric
they
Snow.
had Eric Snow.
Aaron
Eric
McKee.
Snow, Aaron
Man.
McKee, George Lynch.
George Lynch.
George
Yeah.
Lynch. I mean,
you talking about a
Daddy-
collection of just
I can-
what they call mid.
Derek Coleman. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna check out that team.
That was my
2000
favorite team growing up because that's the only team I saw in the finals.
I gotta see these guys.
Yeah,
2000,
man.
2001 roster.
Tudo, what's good, man? Appreciate you
What up,
through,
Tudo?
man. Says massive love and respect, man. All diehard fans in the chat. If Stinky Boys loses, forget about it. You already know what time it is, Tudo.
And Tony Kukoc?
Tony Kukoc, yes. We had
Vernon
Kukoc.
He was
Maxwell?
washed at that time.
Maxwell, yeah.
That was a washed up Kukoc.
Remember Theo Ratliff?
Theo
Oh, yeah,
Ratliff.
he was my neighbor.
Yeah.
Theo Ratliff was my neighbor at that time. Lived right behind me.
It's the first pick.
Dikembe Mutombo. Nazir Muhammad. Coach, remember Nazir Muhammad?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
AI
Tyrone
playing the
Hill,
wrong era.
Rodney
Yeah, AI would
Buford.
be. Whew, he would be
Raja
crazy
Bell.
right now.
Is that
You
name
can
rings a
only-
bell?
You
Raja
can
Yeah.
Bell.
only hope to contain him. Yep.
Yeah. I liked Nazir Muhammad when he was with
I
the
did too.
Knicks.
I did too on the Sixers.
All right, y'all. Let's get into a little football. You know what I'm saying? While we got you guys engaged, man. Not a whole lot of news on the Jets and the Giants. I'm gonna speak on the Jets real quick, just because they still, waiting by the altar for Mr. Rogers to show up and come get him out of mediocrity. And to me, it's just it's sad. Rodney, what's good, man? Appreciate you pulling up, bro. Appreciate
What
you
up,
stopping
Rodney?
by, man. What's
What
good,
up,
my guy?
No problem. How's everybody going tonight?
Yeah, we about to get it in, man. So we're gonna do a mock draft and all that. But check it out. The Jets, man. I just want to speak on the Jets real quick, man, because I know we don't talk about the Jets a lot, and we're gonna definitely talk about the Giants. And here come our other member of the Big Blue Crew. We in the building. What's good, big bro? So now, concerning the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, like how desperate do you gotta be? Like, this team is getting played, and Green Bay is just sitting back laughing because they have no real motivation to really do anything about this situation. So you going into an entire offseason, into the draft, and we're gonna get into the draft in a minute, not knowing if your quarterback is going to be signed by training camp or who your quarterback going to be for real, because the trade hasn't even been made yet, So, like, to me, this is one of the craziest situations. And the Jets, they did it before with Brett Favre. Like, does this team ever freaking learn? That's why when people talk to me about Jets versus Giants, I'm going Giants all day, just because you could have all the talent in the world. Remember that dream team y'all had over there, Mr. Mitchie Mitch. And that's the type of team that this Jets team is going to be. They're going to be a team with a bunch of names and a bunch of big time media personalities like Aaron Rodgers, and they ain't going to do jack squat. And that's just how I feel about the Jets, man. I think they making all the wrong moves, man, with this Aaron Rodgers situation, man. But pass it over to my guest, man. What's good, Lou, man? Talk to him, man. Talk to me, Lou. Talk to me, Rodney. How y'all doing tonight?
What up, guys?
What's going on? What's going on, Jeff, Mitch, Coach, Rodney?
What up? Be right back.
What up, bro?
Big crew in the building.
Is that
Let's
green
go.
and black? Is that military green and black on your hat?
Oh, my hat? Whose hat?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, nah, this is black and gold.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
better. You already know.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
good though,
man.
man? Hey, look.
What's good, man? What you think about this Rodgers situation, man? What's your thoughts on that real quick before we
Man,
get
I
into the
don't care
Giants?
about the Jets or Karen Rodgers. That dude need to be hosting Jeopardy, man.
Exactly, man.
Once you start
man.
thinking about retirement, you don't need to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because
know
your
what I'm
head
saying?
not in the game. That's a good point.
Yeah. Once you start
That's why I
thinking
don't think
about
it's gonna work
retirement,
out.
it's over.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
why I don't
you
think
know.
it's going to work out. What's your thoughts, though, Coach Rodney? Let Rodney get in there, man. What's up, Rodney? What's good with you, man? Big blue
Nothing
corner,
much,
man.
man. What's going
What's
on,
happening,
Lou?
man?
Long time, man.
Word
Coach,
up,
long
man.
time.
What's
Jeffrey,
good?
long time, man.
Good to hear from you, Rodney.
Oh yeah, by all means.
What's
Hey,
good, sir?
real-
You locked in, Rodney?
oh yeah, I'll be locked in on Thursday. I'm gonna
Yeah,
holla at NYG. Was it Thursday afternoon? I'm straight.
yeah,
I'll be
we good
locked in.
money. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
we
real
good
quick
money, man.
about this, as Lou would say, Karen Rodgers. That's hilarious. Look, in my opinion, is it a smart move for the Jets? Yeah. If you think that you're pretty much a quarterback away, and you feel that Aaron Rodgers can get you to where you need to be, i.e., a Super Bowl, playoffs, whatever the case may be, fine, good move. However, the biggest question is whether or not he is going to play past 1 year.
There you
So
go.
you're giving up
Bloody
all
likely.
this.
It's a good
You're
point.
giving up all this draft capital
Mm-hmm.
to get him. You have to pay him at least what, 50 mil? Is he
Mm-hmm.
going to be there another season? You're taking a very, very big risk in pursuing Aaron Rodgers the way you are. You have to be 100% convinced
Let's
that
not
he is
forget
going
this
to play
demand.
past. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's a very high risk, low return, low reward in this scenario. Because if he decides that he doesn't want to play anymore, you're just right back at square one. You know. So in the long run, it's just
Not only that,
you just
Rodney. Not only
go
that,
ahead.
sorry to cut you off, but not only that, you sign him for 1 year, right? He plays that year and he decides he don't want to play no more, like you said. But if he plays well, y'all have 10 wins and then he retires. Now you don't even have a high draft pick to replace him.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
And No Met says word on the street, the league will intervene soon because they need to set the TV schedule. Yeah, because Rodgers is doing this on purpose. They dragging it out on purpose because that's who he
I heard the
is.
GM. I heard the Packers GM is the reason why it's being so delayed.
Jets should go after Lamar. Yeah, Lamar would be the better play. And me and Coach been pounding the table pause for Lamar Jackson to go to the Jets, man, because I think that's the better move long term. You know what I'm saying? And if you're giving up draft capital, you might as well give up draft capital for somebody that's going to stick around, like you guys are saying. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I'll agree with you on that, NYG, because with the way the Jets are set up, their team is pretty much built. They got a yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
they got a
That's a
pretty
good one.
good defense. Yeah, they got a pretty good offense. As far as their offensive line and the weapons that they got as far as their receivers. Their defense is young and they can only get better. So with that situation, I can see Lamar going to that if they're willing to pony up whatever he's asking for. And the last time I checked, I can't really put too much into what is being said as far as what
Yeah,
he put out
true
there on
though.
Twitter. I don't know. It's
So
like if you're willing to give up all that money fully guaranteed,
Yeah, too.
that's a big risk. But the
Yeah,
Jets are
nah,
set up for Lamar.
I agree, man. They are set up for Lamar. What's your thoughts, man? Real quick, Coach Jeff, let y'all chime in real quick, man, and then we're gonna get to the New York Giants. Get into the real deal.
I understand why the Jets are doing it. The only thing that I say is wrong is making a statement that you're not going to even consider. You're just putting all your eggs in one basket. Um, in business, you still have to have a backup plan. And if you don't want to announce that you're going
I
to
agree, Matt.
consider
Be much better
Lamar,
for this media.
you keep it quiet, and you don't just put that out there. But to say, you're only going, you now, in my eyes, you've now given the Packers the power. You've undermined yourself instead of at least look. You know what? We can go after Lamar. We only got to give up at most 2 first-round draft picks. Yeah, we have to give up the contract, but we're gonna have to pay the contract to Rodgers anyway. So that's pretty much a wash. But now once you say, oh no, we're just gonna focus on Rodgers, okay, you've now just rammed yourself up your rectum. That's how I say it. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, man. What's your thoughts on that powerful statement from Coach?
Mindset cost will definitely be a problem
You
for the
there?
AFC if they would build it. Is that true? Lamar to the Colts?
So
I haven't heard anything about that.
you know,
Um,
there has been talk that there's a possibility, but
okay.
that's the commentators talking that. That's nothing definitive.
So,
No,
I
I didn't
mean,
say it's not etched in stone, but they are talking. There is some conversations taking place.
mhm.
okay.
Just like everybody said we was done with Odell, but you clearly heard Joe Shane today talk about him and Odell still talking.
What's
I
good,
still
Jay?
think that's a
What's good?
stretch.
This
It's
is
going to happen.
JTV, man. Appreciate you popping by, bro.
What's up,
Um,
Jay?
Israel said he doesn't want Lamar.
He
Yeah,
doesn't want guaranteed. He doesn't believe in guaranteed contracts. That's what
don't
Ursay
nobody
said.
want that guaranteed, give up that
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed money, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
I tell you what, they're
transition.
gonna be looking stupid when he signed with somebody and somebody give him that bag and he take their ass straight to the playoffs.
Lamar to me is a top 5 quarterback. And if you got the opportunity to trade for a top 5 quarterback who was an MVP, who's still young with a young team, and you trying to build a consistent contender, that's the way to go. Because, like you guys said, once Aaron Rodgers decides, hey, he could do that in the middle of the season. This dude, he don't care. He don't give a, you know what I'm saying? Like he could be like,
Mm-hmm.
they might get off to a slow start. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang it up. And then who you got? You know what I'm saying? Zach Wilson. Like, come on. Now
Well,
you
forfeit
ask.
the
Now,
season if you got to go with Zach
for
Wilson as your
real.
quarterback.
But let's go with the statement here by No Mets. Because there is a lot of chatter with this Odell Beckham Jr. Situation. The statement was that that John Mara, said he was, still welcoming the possibility of Odell Beckham Jr. returning back to the Giants. Of course, we know money is the primary sticking point. Odell wants, some reported, upward near 10 million or so. And teams just ain't trying to go there, with an injured receiver that, while he's still good, I think he still does have something left in the tank, but there is a very, very high risk of him, possibly not playing all 17 games or, possibly having another serious injury. Personally, I kind of wanted to move in a different direction because the one thing the Giants I feel like don't need is that polarizing. Like we already got that in Daniel Jones. You're gonna put another one, Odell Beckham Jr. That's gonna just kind of cause this, you know, hysteria around the fan base and around the team that, you know, if something were to happen and like they say they all cool, but I don't know that. I don't know how Odell Beckham Jr. feels about coming here and fitting in with this team. Is he really gonna be that humble dude and just kind of go to work and say, all right, let's play football, or is it gonna be more the same, you know, what Odell gives you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's a
I
bad
think
player
he
or a
knows
bad
that his
person,
window is closing, and he's got to
but he is a
put his best foot
distraction.
forward
You
and
know what
be
I'm
the
saying?
best version of
Or he
himself.
can be. Yeah.
I'll
Go
tell
ahead,
you
Lou.
why. I'll tell you why John Mara wants to do it. It's going to put asses in the seats.
Yep.
It's going to get him a whole lot of
There you
bank.
go.
It's going to sell him a whole lot of merchandise because what has most of the fan base been screaming about? Odell was wrong. Odell should be back here. Re-sign Odell. We should have never traded him. Get Odell back on this roster. John Mara's not stupid. He might do some stupid things, but he's not a stupid businessman. He knows you bring back Odell, you know those 13 jerseys are going to be flying off the shelf. Merchandise, people are going to be paying tons of money to go see Odell Beckham Jr. So just from that standpoint with John Mara, why he'd say that, I think it's more the fact that he's going to be making a whole lot more bank if he knows that OBJ is going to be back in a Giants uniform because of what the younger generation, especially, where they haven't really had a lot of these players to really, you know, engage with over their lifetime. And Odell Beckham Jr. was really their guy. And if they can find a way to get this guy back on this roster, you know every single one of them are going to be going out there and they're going to be trying to go to the games. They're going to be throwing out a whole lot of cash. So from that standpoint, it makes sense. From the player standpoint, football, I don't know what Odell is. I don't know what this dude is. As he's right. That's exactly what it is. He's like a chick that we dated for 10 months and it didn't work, but we keep going back thinking that
He
something's
had
going
that
to change.
Gok 3000.
Yeah. It's like my guy Sterling Shepard. Same thing. We keep going back to the dude because we can't let him go. Same thing with Odell. We can't let him go.
But
We got to
listen,
keep going back, thinking it's going to change.
I'm going live in like 25 minutes, so I want to eat some dinner before I go live. I just wanted to stop in to support the cause, you know, and
definitely, man.
No doubt.
I got
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm hungry.
Appreciate you, bro, man.
But,
Get you some grub,
bro,
man. And if
All
you
right,
still
then, Lou.
live,
I'm gonna share this video on Twitter.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank
you know
you.
what I'm saying? Go sub to G Nation Inside Sports, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's that.
Go sub to my
Steak
bro, man.
tacos.
G Nation Inside Sports, man.
Carne
Part of the
asada.
Big Blue Crew, founder member of the Big Blue Crew. We all Big Blue Crew up here, except for Mr. Kofsky, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Still love, man. So
Why
shout out
is
to
he
my
still on the
shout out to my
street?
guy.
Green Eagle fan. Nah, what's up, bro?
Oh, good, bro.
He's still getting over the CJ Gardner Johnson drama.
Oh, I'm good with that now.
Well, we
Yeah,
still
but,
don't like the trade that y'all did with the Dallas Cowgirls. So
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wanted Devontae
That was
Smith
a-
so
that was a
bad. That's
sucker
my
move.
guy. You took from
That was a
us.
sucker move, man.
yeah, you
Hey,
can trade
hey,
within the
you took
division.
Dallas Goddard from them.
But yeah, I'm about to
Hey,
eat. I see y'all in
we
a bit.
good. We got Waller, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So.
That's right. And Paris Campbell. But just like finish my point real quickly.
Go ahead. I'm
I
gonna let
mean, from
Rodney get in here.
from a football standpoint, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that what is Odell Beckham Jr. at this point? That's the real big mystery right now. You see him what he's doing in a workout. You see what he's doing over in Arizona, but how is it going to translate during on the field? Is he going to be able to, you know, still have the extra gear, extra burst that he had when he was with the Giants or the Browns or even a little bit with the Rams? That's what you got to wonder because he's 31 years old, coming off 2 ACL injuries in the same knee. What kind of player is Odell and how much are you going to be willing to give him in order to help out your football team? Because you look at this wide receiver group right now, I mean, it's like a ragtag, 1 year rental, injury prone, but coming like, you know, upside type guys right now. Do you want to add another one to that mix? Personally, if it was for me, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm going into the draft to find another receiver or two. That's my goal. I'm going right to that NFL draft, and I'm targeting a couple of those guys and to bring in. And Odell, we love you. Maybe like if you're playing on your last year or two, we'll bring you in for a season. But right now, unless you're going to take a little bit of my money, not doing it.
What's your thoughts on the whole OBJ situation, Rodney. I'm gonna let you get in here. I'm gonna let you get in here too, Mitch. We're gonna pass the mic around. So I just want everybody to get a chance to speak. Tudo says it would be a terrible decision to bring in OBJ. He can't stay healthy. His tires is worn out and torn up. He hungry for a
I
big
agree with
bag to
Tudo.
fill.
I agree with Tudo.
He is. He is hungry for a big bag to steal. Tommy says we have to focus on getting the trenches loaded up. Our receivers will get picked out of nowhere. Shep has to be healthy to make the team. I agree.
That's 100% true.
100%, man. But Rodney, man, what's your thoughts on this OBJ situation, man? And do you think the Giants should go back to that well, or not?
All right, so my opinion on OBJ. What are the fans looking for? You looking for 2014, 2015, 2016 OBJ, the one that was making those, one-handed catches and lighting up the
Yeah.
field? Is that who you're looking for, or are you looking for 2023 Odell, which nobody really knows because he's coming off an ACL? I think that's the biggest concern right there. What are the fans expecting out of OBJ? Are you expecting the old OBJ or the new one? Because we're not just a wide receiver away. And regardless of whether you bring OBJ back or not, I'm not saying that he wouldn't add to that wide receiver room. I'm not saying that he couldn't add, some explosiveness on the field. We're just not one player away. So you allocating that type of money to OBJ, and you know what? He's not going to be cheap. He already said he doesn't want 20 million, but you damn for sure know he ain't playing on no 1 year, $5 or $6 million contract. That's not what he's doing. So, what is the purpose of bringing him back? You might as well take that type of production that you think OBJ could produce. Go to the draft, pick up Zay Flowers or
Go that far, Tudo.
Marvin Mims or whatever the case may be. I just don't get me wrong. Would I like to see OBJ back? Yeah, by all means. He's an explosive player, and I think he could really, really galvanize the team just the same way Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley does. It would just add another perspective to this whole entire offense. But I just don't think that we're in that position where we're going to sit there and say we're just one player away, and that he's going to literally put us over the top. I think we went down that route with Kenny Galladay, and we all thought that in some way, shape, or form, Kenny Galladay was going to be not necessarily the savior, but put the Giants in a different perspective where people can once again, we got to be really, really worried about the Giants. And look what happened with that. You paid him a boatload of money for one touchdown and nothing else.
Oh, but he was a great blocker, Rodney. Come on, isn't that worth it?
Sterling Shepard is a great blocker. I'd rather pay him that money for being a good blocker.
Zay Flowers is a good blocker. Just watching some film on Zay. Zay can get it done in the blocking game despite his size. Pause. Good point here by No Mets. Barkley better not follow Odell's footsteps. Remain in all costs for Barkley. Thinking about life after football. Barkley, take the deal offer. Don't wish you would have stayed a Giant.
I threw that article in the private chat if you guys want to check it out. The Barkley news.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They pulled that offer's been pulled. So he's playing on the tag if he chooses to play on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pulled it. I think
there's rumors he might even sit.
Yeah, they pulled the offer. He's not gonna play on the tag or doesn't want to play on the tag.
I don't like that.
This is going to drag out a little bit, y'all. To be honest with you, the news with Saquon Barkley, and that's another reason not to sign Odell Beckham Jr. because you already have a situation with Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon Barkley's not going to be the one to, make a whole bunch of fuss about it. You know what I'm saying? We all know Saquon's a stand-up dude. You know what I'm saying? But the kid wants to get paid. You know what I'm saying? He's a running back, and he knows he only has one window to get paid, and this is it. And Now he stuck playing on a franchise tag, with who knows what could happen. And then one more injury, and teams are looking at you, in a different light, man. It could really change his career. So um let coach get in here, man. What are your thoughts on OBJ? And then do you think that's a good move? And tell us what's your thoughts on Saquon as well, because I really want to hear what you got to say about this Barkley situation, because I know you always want to say the players need to get their money.
And well, right now I'm not even going to talk about money. All right, if Odell is brought back, I'm looking at it strictly as a coach. He's another piece to add to the offense, and he forces two sets of eyes to watch him when he's on the field. Now remember, you have Waller, you have certain other pieces. It really does help expand the offense. No, he's not the Odell of before, but he's still a respected wide receiver. He still was doing his thing in the Super Bowl until he hurt his knee. So that is factored in. Now, am I realistic? Do I think he's going to be able to come here? Do I think he wants to take less money? No, I don't. I don't. But if they magically somehow came to an agreement and he came here, I'm looking at it as okay. Darren Wall. I'm going to put Darren Waller and OBJ on the same side sometimes, and I'm going to swing Barkley out to that side in certain passing situations. Defense. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to match up to that? So
Good point.
I look at it in that regard. I know nobody wants to go back. I get it. I understand. And everybody has that opinion. But if he is brought here, he's an asset. He's not coming here just to get a paycheck. He's coming here to contribute, and he's going to help others, and the others are also going to help him, which is also going to help him based on Shane. He's going to put certain stipulations in his contract. You have to earn certain things. Guess what? So that's how I would look at it in that regard. But the reality is, no, I don't expect him to come here. As far as Saquon Barkley, all right, yeah, you guys hit it. Shane said the contract, once they put the tag on, basically the contract was pulled, but they're still negotiating. He said it. Yeah, he hasn't spoken to Saquon, I think, in a little over a week, but he said he was speaking to his representative. So they're still negotiating. So, I'm not closing the door on that. If you can bring his cap number down, that's going to give you more money. So, Shane is a very smart man. He's going to cover himself. But hey, if Barkley, and the question was asked, but if Barkley had to play for the cap on the cap number, are you comfortable with it? He said, yeah. So he's fine if he has to go that route. But if he has to, if he can, he's going to try and see what he can do to extend because he knows if he does that, he also has to, because it was comments were brought up about Dexter, his contract.
Mhm.
So, and then Xavier McKinney, his contract situation. So, everything works together. Yes, we as fans, we just focus sometimes on one thing, but, Shane actually has a full plate. So, he has to dig a little bit in the vegetables, a little bit in the starches, get into the protein, eat a little bread. If you got your dessert on the table, take a little dessert, take a little drink. So he's all over the place. He has to really get all over the place to really get a full plate. So, that's my take on
um Nomad says, call me crazy. You're not crazy. It's unpopular opinion sports, man. Hit that damn like button. He says, call me crazy. Barkley is overrated in the passing game. Doesn't run routes well. Not so good hands. He hasn't really helped our passing game. Maybe I'm wrong though. Well, Mr. Nomads,
He's not
I
completely
have
wrong.
but I've questioned Barkley's drops. Remember, I made this known when I did the Darius Slayton video. I said Saquon has been dropping passes at a very alarming rate. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
has Sterling Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an issue with Saquon Barkley. Now, I think he could be more effective if he actually went out and caught more passes consistently, because he has had to stay in and block a lot due to the problems with the offensive line. So that is one factor too. But I think, yeah, I think they got to work on that. Work on that with him. Him and Daniel Jones need to get a little bit more of a rhythm in the passing game, because I think Mike Kafka's going to open up this playbook next year, man. And Barkley's going to be involved in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be here. Whether it's on the tag or long term. Whether he wants to play or not, he's still getting paid to play. So it would behoove him to step on the field, and I think he will eventually. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens, but when he does, he has to be the best version of himself, and that includes cleaning up some of these things that myself has noticed, as well as no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. But that being said, I want to ask you a different question, Mitch. I do want to include you in the conversation. There's rumors going around that Philadelphia Eagles, and we can tie the Jets into this as well, that they're looking, because it's all related, the running back situation with Ezekiel Elliott. What would be your thoughts if the Philadelphia Eagles were to sign or look to sign Ezekiel Elliott? And what do you think that number would look like, in your opinion?
Well, here's the thing. We got Rashard Penny on a 1-year deal. So here's my question. Why would you get Ezekiel Elliott if you got a number one in Rashard Penny, and then you got a Ken Greenwell, who will also be battling in that one spot? So it's like the same exact thing with the DeMarco Murray years ago. Same exact scenario. So if I had to give him I don't know how much he will want. Like, that would be tough, and I don't know if we can afford it, because we need to get Jalen Hurts paid. So if we can get him paid, and then maybe we get something, but I don't think we're going to get Elliott. And I don't even think the Jets want him either, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like the Bengals want him the most.
I think
out of all the three.
Please go to the Bengals, please.
Out of it.
Take him out of the NFC. Go to AFC, please.
What do you think Jalen Hurts' contract going to look like?
We were talking about this today on MK Headlines, but I don't know. It's going to be tough. I got to go like 5 years to 60 if I have like around there. And we were actually ranking them between him, Burrow, and Herbert, because the contracts are going up. So that's how much I would give Hurts.
5 years.
I'm not really that 260, 270 around there. He's going to get the bag. It's just a matter of when.
Is that over 50 mil per year?
Over 50, yes. That's over 50, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 5 and 5, 25 to 50 years. So
I mean, think about it. I don't want it that high, but you got to think about it, right? As soon as the first domino falls, as soon as the first domino falls with Burrow, Herbert, then you're going to have to up it. So who's ever got that first one, that's going to be the lowest one, because, the next one is going to be higher. The third one is going to be higher. So it's like...
Call me crazy. I think he's waiting for Lamar. I think he might be waiting until Lamar signs his deal, and then that's when he's going to look at the bar. He's like, well, whatever... Well, when Lamar eventually signs his deal, wherever, if he's with the Ravens or if he ends up getting traded somewhere else and signs a deal, I think that's where he's waiting to see what Lamar Jackson is going to get contract-wise, and then he's going to look at that deal because of how similar their skill sets are, and then he's going to take that money and maybe ask for around that much or a little bit more. I could definitely see around a little over 50 mil, but yeah,
so
I'd be a little worried about that.
So 52 million for Jalen Hurts. And I'm not bashing Jalen Hurts. I actually like Jalen Hurts, despite hating the Philadelphia Eagles with a passion.
I do too.
I respect Jalen. I think he's a good dude. But 52 million.
I mean,
we complaining about Daniel Jones, and they stats is kind of not too off.
It's not. It's very damn close. It just depends where Burrow and Herbert are going to fall. once they're fall and then Lamar Jackson, whenever that happens, then Hurts will pretty much get paid.
Yeah, I think it's Lamar. I don't know about Burrow and
Lamar,
Herbert yet. I think it's
Burrow
Lamar.
or Herbert.
Yeah, and we don't know what Lamar's going to do or what's going to happen with Lamar. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire up this mock draft simulator. And since we actually got Mitch on the show, I'm going to add the Philadelphia Eagles to the draft.
Boo!
We're not going to
Hey,
do
I did a Vikings mock a couple days ago.
we not going to do
Why you-
the full 7 rounds because after the 4th round, I get kind of like, who the fuck is this?
I like that after the second round.
Yeah.
So we'll do
So
4
rely on
rounds.
coach.
which simulator are you using?
I was gonna use the Pro Football Network joint.
Okay.
Because you got to pay for PFF now.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that.
That's stupid.
I'm sorry.
You got to
I'm
subscribe to them now. You
I'm
can only
cheap.
do the first 2 rounds for free. But when you get the third, that's where you got to subscribe. I'm like, what?
Mitch, what was one you did? Was it the Draft Network?
Huh?
Didn't y'all use?
You mean the one we did on Friday?
Yeah. Was
Oh,
it?
the
That was
one
the
I
one.
did?
Adam shared that one that we did. I don't remember the name of it, but he shared it in the private chat. The one we used on Friday. I forget the name of it though.
Oh, I wasn't around when you guys did the mock.
Yeah, he jumped off when we started doing it. I remember Adam shared it in the private chat, Coach.
Okay. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool. So we're going to pick for the Jets. Who wants to do the Jets pick?
I'll
Not
take
give
the
me a-
Jets pick. I'll take the Jets pick.
All right.
Wait,
I'll host. Coach Rodney, you there?
Yeah.
All right, you two guys. I want you to alternate picks for the Giants. So
What
we're
about
getting
you?
we're getting everybody involved. I'm just going to host and talk. All
Yeah.
right, and chime in.
He's the Pat Sajak of this draft.
I'm Goodell on this round. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh God.
He's a kind of extension.
Hey, you like your new contract, Goodell? You like your new
Hey,
deal?
I love it. I
Yeah.
wish
How
I wish
about
I really
trying to?
was.
How about
Yeah.
paying your players, huh, Roger? Huh? How about paying your players and stop trying to add on more game? I'm not. Nope. Stopping myself. Stopping myself before I get started.
Hey. Who you work for again? Might have to look at your contract.
Oh, I play for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, so we got the Jets, the Giants, and the Eagles. All right, so let's jump into this thing.
How many rounds are we going, by the way, real
Just
quick?
4 rounds. Just 4
Okay.
rounds.
Okay.
All right.
I
So
only have picks 1, 2, and 3 each, though.
I'll say so. We can pause it in
I'm not
case
doing trades. I'm letting you know that. I'm not doing trades. I'm just
no
going.
trades. Okay, so
No, that's just me. You guys should do trades. That's just me.
all right. So the Eagles gonna be up first. You have an offer, so we're gonna reject that offer because we're not trading, especially not with the Dallas freaking Cowboys.
What pick do the Giants have again? I'm sorry.
25th.
25th. Okay.
The Jets have 13, so Jets are gonna be next. All right, Eagles, you on the clock, man. Who you
How
going
is
with, buddy?
Bryce Young still there?
Because they took CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson, which is very possible that could be how it plays out.
Yeah.
Because I heard the Panthers are really high on Anthony Richardson. He's gonna be their Cam Newton. I can definitely see that playing out where they go Richardson and then
Anderson to
Houston goes Rich.
That's
Stroud.
easy.
And that
Already
owner
got mine.
wants somebody that's going to attract people in the seats, and that's what Richardson will do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bill Anderson to the Falcons at 8, but Tyree Wilson went 3 to the.
Is that what
Yeah.
All right. Give me
Will Levis is gonna be a Colt. I can see that happening all day.
I would love that.
Give me Devin Witherspoon.
Devin Witherspoon. All right, good pick. All right.
I'm not like
Jets.
further. I don't take forever.
You want to entertain the trades or you want to just pick?
Let me see the other two trades.
Let's see.
There's a next button right next to it.
Yeah.
Raptors beat the
14.
Heat.
What's the other one underneath it? 14 and what?
Now go
You
back.
got,
Go back.
yeah, and you got the 19th pick.
What's the
19
number
pick.
underneath the second one? It says 14, and I can't read the other one right underneath it.
Oh, 76.
That's a third round pick.
Mm-hmm. But you
that
only
one,
trading down one spot.
yeah, but I'm also picking up an extra third.
Mm-hmm.
See, coach. I know what coach is going to want to do. But,
I'll be honest with
see
you. I
him.
would do that deal.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
do
thinking.
that.
I'm waiting. You know what?
Wait a minute.
Do it.
Is it the 14th or the 19th? You said
It's 14th. I'd just be moving back one spot, and
One
I'd be
spot,
getting
yeah.
an extra third.
each spot to pick up a third. That's a steal.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Make the trade,
right.
Mr.
All right.
Goodell.
Do 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 do.
Just don't
Trade
find
up
me,
and-
please.
All right. No, we're
Let
not
me
doing no
check.
trades with the Dallas
No.
Cowboys.
Let
Reject.
me check the offensive tackle. I want to look at the OTs.
All right. Offensive tackle. There you go. Got Skoronski still there.
Skoronski.
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 All right.
Skoronski.
it
I
is.
like Skoronski. I think he's the best tackle in this draft. I know you disagree, Coach. I'm taking Skoronski.
Oh, I love Skoronski, man.
Yeah, that's the guy I want.
He reminds me of who's at with the Chargers.
All right.
Oh,
New York
Slater,
Giants, you
Rashawn
on the
Slater.
clock. We'll do we'll let
Take
Rodney
a
go
punter.
first.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let my man
Take the guy.
Rodney get in there. You want to entertain these
anyone
trades?
else.
You have two offers. You got moving down to 32 with the Steelers. You pick up an extra third.
They're the first on the second round. That's what that is. Wanted to make sure.
Okay, so what was that first one again?
First one is
32 and what?
pick 32 and pick 80.
See, now I would do this just for the simple fact I'm picking up 2 second round picks, and I'm picking up another third. I would definitely entertain this one because, in all honesty, I'm not really losing out. I'm able to pick up a good cornerback and a center, a wide receiver, possibly a linebacker, and another offensive lineman. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, personally, I would look to do this deal if it was me. But go ahead, Coach. You guys are in the war room right now, so y'all talk it out.
Yeah.
About well,
I'm like the fly on the wall.
center. Oh well, we got to take him at 25. But there's still we don't know if he's going to be there at the beginning. I mean, they're both going to be gone because we're talking about Smith and Whiteberg. They're probably going to be gone early in the second round, just like you said, Ronnie. You're picking up an extra pick as well. You're still going to be able to get probably one of your two guys. And even if just for argument's sake they're gone, you still can get centers on the back end because you still have Oluwatimi still there. You still have good centers that you can pick up later on. Yes, they're developmental, but you can still get them. And you still, like you said, you can still get cornerbacks early in this round. So you can get cornerbacks, you can get wide receivers, you can get your center early in the second round. So yes, I'm with you. I'm open to taking this trade.
So what is I can't really see it, but what is Pittsburgh giving up?
They're giving up 32 and 80.
Wait, 32 is the last pick in the first round.
Yes.
Nah, it's technically the second round because it's only 31 picks because of Miami.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, then that's a second round pick. I don't have to do a 5th-year option. I'm doing this deal all day, every day.
Yeah.
What is it?
If he didn't do that deal, Coach would have given you the Anthony Davis reaction. Damn.
In fairness, look at the other trade. Just to be honest, you got to look at the other trade. Oh, you did it.
So, Philadelphia, you back on the clock. You said you wasn't doing no
I'm
trades.
not doing any trades. I'm just
All
going
right,
right.
so reject. All right, make a pick. What you want to look at? Tell me. I'll navigate the board for you.
Yeah, please.
I heard you
What
need
you
a
looking for?
kicker.
This is the
Oh my god!
This is all of them.
I
This is
heard
the
you guys
kind
need a
of the.
shooter.
This is their big board right here.
That's. Hmm.
Or if
You
you
know
want to look
what?
at a certain position, I can
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I see a player staring you right in the face that you probably should pick.
Wait, is Bijan Robinson still there?
Yeah, he's right
Yeah,
there.
he's
I can
there.
barely see it, but yes, I'll take Bijan
Yeah,
Robinson.
he said. Let me see if I can make it.
Yeah,
Nice.
give me Bijan Robinson there.
B. John Robinson, it is.
Wow.
Boom.
I see if that player last that I'm looking at too. I know who coach is picking in a couple of picks if he's there.
All right. You have another trade offer. But let's just make a pick. For the sake of picking here, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing will kick you trades.
Yeah.
On every pick, and we don't want to kind of keep it going.
Oh no, we're
But
in a good spot. We're in a good
yeah,
spot.
I think you good right here. So we'll go ahead and reject these trades, and I'll let you go ahead and make that first pick, Rodney, and then Coach, you make the next one. So
All
what
right.
we looking
First,
at?
I want to see what is available as far as wide receiver first and cornerback.
Okay, wide receiver, got Zay Flowers,
Wow.
Josh Downs, Cedric Tillman, Rasheed Rice, Marvin Mims.
What do we have as cornerback?
Corner defense.
Now, see, I don't need Ezekiel Elliott now.
BJ Turner. Emmanuel Forbes.
Give me Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. I
I'm
like
sorry,
it. I like
but
it.
that pick right there. I mean, this is a wonderful trade back. I'm able to still
Like
pick up Zay Flowers, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that I can pick up Wipler, or maybe even.
So I got back to
I'd
back.
rather, yeah, I'd rather go with Wipler.
Oh, back
So
to
let's
back. Nice.
Reject
All
that
right,
one.
Jets. Reject.
What is that 67 and
It's
68?
67 and 68, and you giving up 42 and 207. So you giving up 2, you getting 2.
No, I'm gonna reject it.
All right.
All right.
You on the clock?
I want to check out center. If I'm bringing in Aaron Rodgers, I want to make that offensive line reinforced. So
You
I'm
got
looking at the guard
Titman,
or center.
you got Wipler, you got Stromberg, you got the guy from Michigan, 00.
You better take him.
Wipler.
Damn it.
Give me
Nah,
Wipler.
Jeff. Nah, Jeff, you can't do
I
that.
like Wipler.
Nah,
No.
Jeff, you can't do that.
No, I'm doing it. Give me the
Taking
LSU
him.
guy. Give me Wipler.
All right, you got you on the clock again.
Show me
Got-
defensive end or pass rushers.
All right, defense.
Should have taken the Michigan guy, Jeff. I
Edge,
was
you still got
disappointed.
BJ Ojelar. Can't see still there?
Can't see. I'll put him right next. I'll put him right next to. I'll put him right next to Quinny Williams.
Shit.
Look at Coach's face.
Wow.
Look at his face.
I think Jeff has had the best draft so far, then it's me.
Oh snap!
I just made Aaron Rodgers a happy man.
This
Well,
All right, Coach, you on deck. You got 2 trade offers, 57 and 254 for 67. The Broncos desperately trying to get up to get your boy Russ some help.
they're trying to get rid of him, I thought.
Nah, they ain't getting rid of him. And they trying to give up 67 and 108 for 57 and 254.
what's on the board? What's on the board?
And I don't know if I can look at it without rejecting the trade or accepting the trade.
You have to do that. All right, just reject those.
All right. Yeah, I don't see if yeah. So this is the board. Maybe I just got to keep it right here on all, and that way you'll be able to see it in the screen.
You could have gone back because right there underneath the pause, there's a phone, and it usually is ringing green, so you would have been able to go back and forth. But once you
Oh, okay.
that's
Okay.
now who's that? I can't see it. Who's that first?
Um, Keon White, Jack Campbell. We got Clark Phillips, J.L. Skinner.
Stop,
Um,
stop,
hmm?
Jack, Jack
I
Campbell.
know.
Jack Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Jack
Linebacker,
Campbell.
Iowa.
I thought you were going Skinner. Honestly, I thought you were going
Jack
Skinner.
Campbell. It is. I like it.
Mm,
That linebacker.
it's
All
true.
right, Philadelphia. They're not trading, so you are on the clock. What we looking at?
Right. Let me look at defensive tackles
Defensive
real quick.
tackles. Keanu Benton, Zach Pickens, yeah,
This is,
Ojomo,
let me see wide receivers real quick. I'm stuck between defensive tackle and wide
got
receiver.
Butte, Keyshawn Butte, Trey Palmer, A.T. Perry, Tyler Scott, got some pretty good
Oh,
ones.
I know.
Zombie Mingo,
These are good.
Scott's
Jake,
underrated.
yeah,
Yeah. You know what? YOLO. Give me Scott.
Okay.
Tyler
Yep.
Scott,
I like
pick
him from
up.
Cincy.
All right, what we got? We getting into round 3, y'all.
Who's up next? Oh, it's me. All
Jets
Wait,
coming
what?
up.
Yes, I have a pick in third.
right,
Jets
Joe
coming up.
Douglas. What do you? Let's see.
You have they giving you 76 and 207 for 99 and 101.
It is like two. I think it's like back end third, one front end fourth. I believe.
101 is
I think it's a fourth. I think
yeah.
so.
I think once you get out the hundreds, yeah, you getting into the
Just,
back end of the third, those kind of comp picks.
Yeah.
just click over on the draft board. Don't click. Don't close this out. Just
Oh,
hit.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
they'll just. Yeah. I'll just
Oh,
go right
okay.
back to the green. There you go.
All right, all right. Got
That
you, coach.
they hit the phone. You can go back. So now you
Let
To go
me
back. Okay.
let me check linebacker.
Linebacker, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I know they have
Ooh,
the
Ivan
linebacker
Pace
core.
Jr.
Is Overshown there?
Yeah, DeMarvin Overshown is there.
I might think
Um,
about taking him because I think that kid's got a lot of upside, and
Dennis from
maybe putting him
Pittsburgh
as
is there, and
yeah.
Henry To'oTo'o is there as well.
I'm not as high on him.
Okay,
I'm thinking Overshown because I think he's a player that could be an underrated prospect coming out.
I
So,
like
and I know the Jets.
Overshown.
The Jets need a linebacker because Mosley is getting up there in age, and Quan Alexander's a leaver free agent. So, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna take Overshown. I like his upside.
All right, DeMarvin Overshown it is. I like the
I
pickup.
think Salah would do good. Would do wonders with this kid.
All right, Giants, you on deck. They trying to give you 80 and 209 for 100 and 109. The Raiders. I think you already ripped them off. They trying to get their picks back.
And they ripped themselves off.
They're
No,
trying to pull the old draft day.
we'll
um,
stick where we are.
I'll
We'll
let
stay
you
where
look
we
at the
are.
board. This is the big board. If you want to go to a certain position, let me know.
podium.
Who was our? Hey, coach, who was our last pick?
I just took Jack Campbell, linebacker from Iowa.
Can we see cornerbacks?
Corner. All right. Corner. Got Eli Ricks, if you like him. Coach can talk you through some of these other players. Julius Brents, Jalen Jones.
Is that the kid from Kansas State?
Yeah,
I
Julius
would
Brents.
take him right there. What do you
Right
think,
there.
coach?
Wait a minute, Jalen Jones is from Texas A&M, isn't he?
I
Jalen
think
Jones. You
so.
said Julius Brents is from Kansas State.
Oh, okay.
And you got
What do you think
Ricks
there,
from
coach?
Alabama.
You got yeah, they're all good. You can take
Yeah,
you.
they are.
You can go wrong with any one of those guys.
I think right there I'll go with That's wait. That's Juju Brents. Isn't that the guy that shut down Quentin Nelson when they played TCU?
Yep. You have
Julius Brents.
you have you
Yeah.
have you have Ricks who from Alabama. You know, Alabama defensive backs are fundamentally sound because they
All
are
right, guys, I gotta hop off. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.
you too.
All right, man. Take it easy,
Easy.
Mitch.
I should pick for the Eagles too.
What you thinking?
No,
I think
whichever one he wants.
I will go with Brents.
Let's
Yeah.
see if we. Oh, they didn't not giving us no information. So you're gonna go with Brent's
Wait 1 second. Go to Edge.
edge. All right. Andre Carter's still there.
He's not bad for an RB.
Yeah. What about defensive tackle?
D tackle. Um, Keanu Benton, Zach Pickens, Jacqueline Roy,
Yeah,
Ojomo from Texas.
I'm gonna go cornerback Julius Brents.
Julius Brents it is. Right. Now, getting back to the Giants. Coach, you on deck. So the offer's 189 and 254 for pick 100 and 141
What are we in
from
the
the
third or
Raiders.
are we in the third round or fourth round?
We in the third right now. We going to the fourth round and then that's it.
Can we
So if you trading
see?
outside the fourth round, then you ain't going. It ain't. Yeah, we're not going that far.
Just go to. Let me look at this.
Leave it.
Yeah, leave this right now. Don't reject anything. Just
Okay.
go to
Go
the
to the. Go
yeah.
to all
Go to the center.
the center. Okay. Go center. Titman still there. Stromberg.
Olawutimi.
Um,
Olawutimi.
Olawatimi.
Stromberg.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What you say, Coach? I'm sorry.
Select Olawutimi.
Olawatimi from Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one
Got you.
second there. 1 second. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Coach,
Mm-hmm.
how many fourth round picks do we have? One.
Um,
Do me a favor.
let's see.
No. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Click on the logo.
Hmm.
The next pick is at 128.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's your last one.
My
Yeah, in
question.
this draft, we're not going all the way through. We're not going.
No,
Yeah.
no, I get that. My question to coach is this: with where they have Olawatimi going, I guess this draft position.
I just
What would you take the flyer on the third round, or would you?
all right. What is his number?
132 is where he's
And what's that third round or fourth round number?
I think it's 128.
128.
That's
So
risky.
you taking a chance, yeah.
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 All right. But yeah, when you say take a flyer, on what position were you thinking about, Rodney?
Well, I mean, how comfortable would you be taking Titman instead of Olawatimi?
I'm not. I'm not sold on Pittman at all. I think he's
Oh,
too big. He does. He's realistically, he's not someone that you could have him come in half the season and play for. In my opinion, he's going
Mm,
to. He really needs a full redshirt year in a sense because number
wow.
one, he's 6'6" and he plays high. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, he's strong. Don't get me wrong. I understand he can get to second level. He has a certain level of athleticism. But I forgot who I showed the video where I mean he was literally getting
Yeah, I remember that video.
he he
Mm,
playing with leverage, and then when he was opening up and coming on a trap block, the linebacker just blew him off and made the play. So that's my concern with him. That's me. So that's why now if you're looking at another play. I mean, who else is there besides Tippman?
Stromberg.
And who's that? After
and then John Gaines is the other one from UCLA.
who's after Oluwatimi?
Juice Scruggs from Penn State, and then you got Spencer Anderson from Maryland and Alex
What's like,
Forst from Oregon.
I mean,
Damn you, Jeffy.
no, I mean it's a catch-22. I mean, maybe. I mean, what is Pittman's rating right now?
I don't know if this is gonna. Oh yeah, they do give you something.
No, no,
Look,
not
give
that,
you a grade.
not that.
Oh, his rating, 85,
Okay, no,
on the board.
yeah, he's at 85, so he's dropping
Mhm.
much. So
Yeah.
maybe, you might be able to get him later, or you might push the board down. So taking a flyer on what other position then were you thinking about Rodgers?
Well, I mean, as of right now, you can pull up cornerback again because you can't go wrong with getting another corner.
Corner. Um, is this Blue Kelly? Is this guy's
Yeah,
name?
Thank you.
Tyler
Darius
Blue Kelly.
Rush, Alex Austin,
Well, good. Let me
um,
think. Go to Austin.
Tomlinson from TCU,
He's
No,
too
um,
he's the coach is not a fan of him.
high. High.
Valentine from Kentucky.
Go to offense. Go to tight end right now, quick.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought you guys were gonna go wide receiver at this point.
Oh, Kuntz is still there. um,
Go to wide receiver.
all right. A.T. Perry's still there. Jonathan Mingo,
I don't think
Jaden
he's
Reed,
dropping, coach, and Rodney.
Wow.
Mingo.
Okay.
Mingo,
Say no more. Mingo.
Mingo. All right, Mingo it is.
That he
No,
can
I'm
be
just kidding.
developed into he can be developed into a number one wide receiver. Seriously.
All right.
I'll pick for the Eagles too. I
Pick
guess
for
I'll
the
do the Eagles
Eagles.
and the
All
Jets.
right. Go ahead.
I'll reject the trade, and for the Eagles, I'll go
This
interior
is who they
offensive
got
line.
so far: Desert Witherspoon, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Scott.
Go
So you
safety.
safety.
Safety. Yeah,
All
I
right.
think they need another safety.
Um, Jair Brown, Ronnie Hickman, Jamie Robinson from Florida State. Got Ronnie Hickman from Ohio State. Brown from Penn State. Got Trey Dean the third from Florida. Rashad Torrance the second from Florida. Dang, Florida got some safeties coming out. Jay Ward from LSU.
Go to running
Um,
back. Oh wait, no, they got Bijan Robinson. Never mind. Forget that. Scrap that. Um, check out linebacker, and then if there's nothing there, I'll go back to
Ivan
safety.
Pace Jr. Um, Henley from Washington State. Tua from Alabama.
Ivan Pace
Um,
Jr. Ivan
Ivan
Pace Jr.
Ivan
I'm
Pace
picking him.
Jr. It is.
That's risky
No, it's risky, I know, but I'm trying to go by his upside. I think he could be.
Hendon Hooker is
You think he could
a
drop?
Washington Commander. Titman just went off the board. Stromberg just went off the board. Uh-oh. Getting a little dicey to get that center. Here come the Jets again.
Okay.
So let's reject the trade. Who you looking at? This is what you got so far. You got Skoronski, Whiteblood. Man, the offensive line is gonna be something else. So is
You
that
bring
D
in Aaron
line.
Rodgers, you got to.
Cansey, and then you got DeMarvian Overshown. Man, it's a pretty good draft.
I'm thinking either running back or safety with this team, because I don't know if I trust their running backs because Brees Hall's coming off an injury, and maybe you can get another running back in the mid rounds. But I'm gonna go check out safety first because they need a
First.
safety.
Okay.
Yeah, they need a safety. Safety first.
All right. There you go. You got Brown, Hickman, the same players from last time. Robinson, Dean, Rashad Torrance. I don't know. Jay Ward.
I think Torrance is like a late round pick. I'm leaning. I don't know why I'm leaning more towards Hickman.
Ronnie Hickman.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Hickman at safety, but
no scouting report.
can I just check out the running back position real quick?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
that might be
Sorry.
Israel. I don't know how to say that dude. He's from Pitt. Sean Tucker from Syracuse, Chase Brown, Illinois, Kenny McIntosh from Georgia, Tyre Spears. I like Spears, is pretty good.
I do too.
Johnson from Texas,
I'm taking Hickman.
Tavion Thomas. You
I'll
want to
take
take Hickman?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Hickman, the safety from Ohio State.
Okay. Hickman it is. I just want to see if the gamble pays off and you guys able to get your center.
Is Jared Patterson still on the board, or he got picked?
He just got picked.
Okay.
Yeah. Reject.
Rodney's still pissed because I took Weipler.
Yeah, I did. Damn.
All right. Where you going, Roddy?
Damn you, Jeffy.
My maniacal laugh.
I think we can both agree that this is probably the good spot to pick up Olotimi. How about that, coach?
Ronnie, go to center. That was a good call.
Oh, he's there. He made it.
Go, you guys got your center.
Good strategy, man. Good draft strategy there, man. All right, so he's the pick, right?
Yep.
All right, let's lock it in. Parker Washington went to the Bears. All right, there it is, man. So the Giants came away with Zay Flowers, Jack Campbell, Julius Brents, Jonathan Mingo, and Oluwatimi. I like this draft right here.
Yeah.
I really like this draft. Especially being able to get that center with that last pick right there, because that was a dicey move. You would have came away with probably one of the centers that wasn't as highly rated as Oluwatimi, but that's a good pick. You get two good wide receivers. Zay Flowers is definitely a lot higher on Zay Flowers than I was after I watched his film and seen how he blocks from the wide receiver position. So he's not just one of these guys that's just going to go out there and run routes. He's actually going to be helpful in the run game. Jack Campbell, we talked a lot about Jack Campbell on this show as far as his ability to be that 3-down linebacker, his instincts, you know what I'm saying, as well as him being stout in the run game, knowing the gaps and knowing when to shoot the gaps and playing good gap discipline, as coach would say. Julius Brents, you guys can kind of fill me in a little bit on him. Haven't done a whole lot of film study on him. So Rodney, if you want to talk about this pick, you are coach. Help your boy out. NYG know who Julius Brents is.
You got it, Rodney.
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself by accident.
Yeah, you good.
The kids got very good measurables.
Okay.
And the one thing that stood out was just like I said, that was a kid that literally shut down Quentin Johnson in the TCU K-State game. That really stood out to me. He did pretty good at the combine. And like I said, he's got, I think he's about 6'1", 6'2". He's got good measurables. And I gotta honestly say, for where we picked him, as far as a cornerback, you can't go wrong with the value as far as the position is concerned. We definitely need a cornerback. And, getting someone who is fast and as far as press man, very good in press man. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to pick him up if he was there. He's a very good player. Very, very good player.
Oh, they don't show his height and weight. Okay. I just want to see his measurables. Damn good draft though. Damn good draft. I think definitely came away with some good prospects that are gonna help this team. I like all the picks here, man. So good job, fellas, man. Let's look at the Jets real quick. Jeffy T with the New York Jets, man.
I'm over the moon with these picks. I love
think you knocked it out too, man. I think you knocked it out the park too. Skoronski definitely stepping in. Where would he step in at left tackle?
Left tackle. Yeah.
He's gonna step in at left tackle. So you're gonna put who are you gonna put over there on the right side?
Probably Becton. I'm
Becton.
guessing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a damn good line with Weipler in as a
You get
center.
AVT back as well from
Mm,
injury.
mm. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good right there. And then Cansey, man. I think this guy's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Kalijah Cansey, man. I think he's underrated, man. I know he's not the biggest guy pause, but I think he's very underrated, man.
Call him Baby Donald.
Yeah, he's building that Aaron Donald. Yeah, 6 foot 276, man. Um yeah, he's gonna be a beast, man. And I like Overshown, man. I like Overshown.
That was probably my favorite pick. I think he's a great value pick at that position. I think he's
Yeah,
got really good upside. I just think he's a raw prospect. So
yeah, 6'4", 220. He's definitely very athletic, very, very
yes.
athletic. And
Mhm.
he's a little raw, as they say, pause, but I think he definitely
You could ease him in when you got somebody like CJ Mosley, a veteran, right in front of him who could
mhm,
teach him the ropes, and you got Salah, who is a very good defensive mind. So it's a good
yeah.
value pick for a player that's raw but has a lot of upside if you can harness that ability.
Definitely, definitely. And Ronnie Hickman. Tell me a little bit about Ronnie Hickman. Jeffrey, not too keen on him.
I mean, I think he's a good instinctive safety. I mean, he's a pretty decent side to side safety overall. I'm
6'1",
just going more with the value with
Mm-hmm.
him more than anything. So I think he's probably around a third, fourth round range. So that's pretty much why I picked him there. I'm a little bit surprised he dropped to that. I thought he could be maybe around the third round, but I find him more as a value pick. And they already got a couple of veteran safeties on that roster. I believe they brought back Whitehead. So you have this kid that can be able to develop right behind a couple of veteran safeties you already have in the roster because they traded for Chuck Clark. So you can have them teach him the ropes, and he doesn't have to come in immediately and be a starter. So he could be your third or fourth rotational guy. So I think it's a good value pick. You add another young safety to the mix with the veterans you got because Chuck Clark and I believe Whitehead are
What
only
happened to
on 1 year
Rodney?
deals. I think his connection might have messed up.
Oh, device not connected. Okay.
Yeah.
Come back when you get your connection back right, Rodney. All right, and then good draft though, man. That was a damn good draft.
Thank you.
Getting those two those two back to back, man. Look at the Eagles real quick, man.
Yeah, fuck him.
Mitch did most of this draft. I don't like this draft at all. I really
No.
hate it. Devon Witherspoon's all right, man, but he's gonna get
I
smoked
think
by
he's all right.
Paris
He's pretty
Campbell.
good. Yeah, well,
He's
smoked by Darius Slayton.
yeah, both of them. You know what I'm saying? Bijan Robinson, he's pretty
No,
good.
he's good. He's good.
He's pretty
He's
good.
good.
Tyler Scott, I think he's pretty good. Pace, not a big fan of Pace.
I've had
Yeah.
a bit with that. The simple fact is, being that he's a small linebacker, you already have whatchamacallit, who's the other small linebacker. So that's
Yeah,
linebacker.
the Kobe Dean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's why I can't see the Eagles if he's there taking him because yeah, you have Davis, I get it, but two small inside linebackers, that's
Mm,
just saying,
not
They
a
might
good
be
look.
going with more speed than size or anything.
if I'm an OC, you know what I'm doing? Double teaming Davis, I'm running right at both your linebackers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I get it. But hey, it's the Beagles, so what do you expect?
Yeah. I think their best pick out of all of them is probably the running back. If I had to pick the four,
yeah, I do like
Robinson's going to be good.
the running
Robinson's going to
back
be a good
pick.
player.
Yeah. What did they do with Boston Scott? Mr. Ask Mitch
They
that.
re-signed him to a 1 year deal, so he's
Fuck,
back in the
man.
rotation.
God damn it.
Yeah, they got him, Gainwell, and they signed Penny. So they got a 3 running back rotation, but I would not be shocked if they go running back because they need a guy for the future.
I mean, if they looking at Ezekiel Elliott, I mean, you might as well just draft one at that point. If you
And they signed Terrell Edmonds too. I forgot that. They signed Terrell Edmonds, Tremaine's brother, to a 1 year deal. That's a good pickup for them. That's a good pickup. They got him for like nothing too after their CJ left. So
but good stuff, man. That was pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? We getting closer to the draft, so we starting to get a feel for kind of the idea and the
I owe it
direction.
all to this man right above me. He's been teaching me the ropes about the mock draft. So this man in my upper right, he's been like
Yeah,
helping
man.
all of us out with the mocks.
Coach knows his stuff, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why, we love him and on this show as well as in the Giants community, man, because the insight and the knowledge is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to teach,
Yes.
And I always tell people you have to listen to learn. All these people that just want to talk and think they know everything. I don't know everything about football. I don't know everything about every single prospect. That's why, when we do these drafts, I'm gonna kick you guys some questions like, hey, look, what about this guy? I haven't done haven't done any film. I don't know a lot about him. I do my own film work. Just to be clear, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just looked at Zay Flowers again, and was quite impressed with his blocking ability.
Love that guy.
But I definitely take notes and listen to Coach as well as Big Pat Sports Talk, man. Shout out to him too as well, man. A guy can break down some film, so
And
those are my
Dash
two
too.
big
Big
ties.
Dash knows how to break
Dash
down
is
a
good
lot
as
of.
well, of
He's
course,
really good
man.
with that. And of course, Lou and Joel. They know
No
very
doubt.
good with that stuff as well.
Yeah, the whole crew, the whole Big Blue crew, man. What's up, Shelton, man? Peace. What's good,
What's up,
man?
Shelton?
Appreciate you coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? We just chopping it up, man. So what we just did the draft, but we could talk a little bit, man. Just kind of freestyle the rest of the show. What is your kind of overall need right now, since kind of the free agency is kind of sort of dying down? What direction do you think the Giants should go in with the number one pick? Now, I had a strong opinion on this,
I
and
do
some
too.
people disagree, but let's let you go ahead and say what you got to say as far as that's concerned, man, before I get into my opinion.
Well, I mean, I made a video on this a couple of days ago talking about why we don't need to rush out and get. I don't believe we need to rush out in the first round to get a center, because I still believe there's going to be quality centers in the second round. So I'm not, unless there's a can't miss prospect that is absolutely at the top of the board that Joe Shane says, like, this is the guy, I'm not taking a hedge and betting on a center. For me, honestly, my under the radar picks, I'm going defensive end or outside linebacker, or I'm going inside linebacker. Because I look at the inside linebacker position, let's just be real. Okereke is a good player. I think he's going to fit well in this defensive system. But you look at the rest of the guys. We cannot hedge our bets on Darian Beavers, a 6th-round rookie coming back and all of a sudden being the answer at that linebacker position. You got to let this kid get a chance to develop and let him go out there and get his legs under him. He's essentially going into his rookie season. I like Michael McFadden. To me, he's a good rotational piece. And Gerard Davis, I think he's another good depth piece on this team. If there's a linebacker in the middle of that defense that you see that you do not want to pass on, you think he'd be a good pairing with Okereke and could be a solid duo if you play 3-4 for the next few years, I'm taking an outside linebacker, and even with defensive end, outside linebacker too. The more I've seen of this Nolan Smith kid that Coach showed us before, the more I'm starting to like this kid more. And if he somehow drops any near 25, I'm sorry. I am not just going and hedging my bets on just Thibodeau and Ojulari being the guys. And you want to bet on, I like Jihad Ward. I think he's a run stuffer more than a pass rusher. I like Timon Fox, but he's 26 years old, and I think he's a good rotational piece. And I believe and Ellison Smith, let's stop, okay? He might have a lot of upside, but the dude has barely played in 2 years.
Who is that?
Yeah, it's like Aaron Robinson. What is he right now? Honestly, wide receiver is even lower on my list in the first round because there's so much depth at the wide receiver position. You could get a good quality receiver in the second, third, fourth round. Yeah. Cornerback is actually higher on my list too, because I look at that cornerback position and who honestly, I want you all to be real. Who honestly can you trust going into this season to not have any type of health risk or get hurt? Even Adoree, because Adoree's been hurt twice in both seasons, has missed a lengthy amount of time. I don't trust any one of these guys to go out there and play 17 games. If there is a quality cornerback that's available, I am taking him because I want a cornerback that I could develop on the outside when eventually you have to let a Dory go or
So
Robinson go.
what about Christopher? Appreciate you stopping in,
Hey,
Chris.
Christopher.
What about his question? If Banks or and Branch is there, who you take? He says
Banks.
he's
I'm
choosing
taking Banks.
Branch.
I'm taking Banks.
You
I think
taking
he's gonna.
Banks? Who you
I think
taking,
he's the
Coach?
prototypical guy.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Banks or Branch?
I didn't expect that one. You kind of threw me off with that one.
Bank.
I knew it.
Banks.
I knew it.
Banks.
I knew it.
I'm taking Banks too. I'm taking Banks too.
Yeah.
He's just he's gonna change this defense, man. Like that kid's for real. That kid's for real, man. When you look at the film, you break it down. That kid's for real, man. You know.
And you know what else I would not look to pass up on? If he's there at 25, I'm going to take a hard look at Osiris Torrance. I like Azudu, and I like
Mets, there's O-line, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could get O-line, but if Torrance is there, I might be very hard for me to pass on that guy. I think he could be a plug-and-play guy. You put him at right guard.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't trust Aziz to stay healthy either.
No,
that's what
and
I've
even
been saying.
Thibodeau's got to develop as a total.
And it's not just their health. It's you need, to me, how the Giants teams have always been built. You know what I'm saying? They have a litany of pass rushers. Like you have more than one guy. You got waves right now. You just you pretty much holding your breath on these two guys. You know, and you know, I see them bulking up the middle of the defense. You know, with some of these D tackle signings. I want to see them do that with the linebackers too. You know, not just like you said, the outside linebackers, but the inside linebackers as well, man. Just stock talent at those positions. I know that's not necessarily one of the main positions in Wink's defense. I know he prefers the D tackles and in the corners more in the secondary, but look, let's not get it twisted. If you can't get to the quarterback with 4 and you have to blitz all the time, you're gonna get exposed with some teams. Some teams are gonna be able to expose you. You know, not every team you can get by with that, but some teams, the better quarterbacks, will expose you unless you can, you know, hold coverage, man, and rush the passer with 4. That's just my opinion.
I
Coach,
agree with you.
what do you think, Coach? He says I want, and I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Ade Tomia Adebwore. I don't think I know him.
I don't know who that is.
He's a pass rusher, I think.
Yeah, I think he's from Northwestern.
Yeah, let me check.
I mean, he's good. What's up, Mac?
Yes, he is. Hey, Mac.
You know,
what's good, Mac? Man, appreciate you coming by, Mac.
Fundamentally, he has the fundamental principles. You know, because he's well coached. He's good in the run game. He's good in the pass game. I mean, I have to go back and double check. I don't think he's an elite pass rusher. I have to double check that again. But
right, Max. That's what I want to see. That NASCAR package, man. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Good. Don't get me wrong. From back in the day, but you got to be able to stop the run. You go NASCAR, how are you going to stop the run? That was our biggest issue this year. We got to continue.
On we're gonna stop the run on 1st and 2nd, so we can get in those NASCAR packages on 3rd down. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you ain't gonna be doing the NASCAR on 1st and 2nd down on run games, especially not against teams like Philly and the Cowboys.
Someone argued with me on that. He's like, "No, we could do the NASCAR all game long."
No, you can't do that. It's not going to work.
No. And the Giants didn't do that. It was a reason they had Barry Cofield, Fred Robbins, and all them big boys in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Now you got Dex and Leo. Yeah, I mean, you need to be able to have run stoppers.
Yeah, you need a mix though. You can't just have a bunch of defensive tackles either. You got to need guys that can get to the quarterback, you know, and beat one-on-one coverage or one-on-one, So,
Would you
but
guys be
yeah,
against safety? Maybe being if it's like a safeties there or no? If it's like a
depends.
yeah,
Round you talking,
Depends.
what round you talking about, Jeff?
first round. If there's a can't miss safety that could be an
First
impact guy,
round,
depending
nah.
on what happens. I don't know like what there's going on with McKinney. That's the only reason why I bring it up. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
What's his name? Grant from Alabama. I'm just not. I'm just not.
Well, I if you didn't have Dane Belton, if you just had not drafted Dane Belton, maybe you have an argument, but
Okay.
they let Love go. And the reason I believe is because they like Belton and Pinnock. So yeah,
I think they let Love go because they're gonna sign McKinney. That's why I think they did that because they're gonna
that
give
too.
McKinney the bag.
That's part of it too. But if they were that thin at safety, they probably would have made maybe a better offer to Julian Love.
No,
That's
it's
true.
Julian Love misread the market because they actually offered him what he signed. Didn't they sign?
He signed for like 12 million, I think 6 mil per season. He would have
6
been.
per
We could have
season,
brought him
yeah.
back. We could have brought him back.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
they offered him something similar, but he didn't. He didn't want it. He wanted to test the market. And they pulled it. When he said no,
What's up, Earl? Appreciate
Hey,
you coming
Earl.
through.
So
Shout out to my guy Earl too.
he said no. They pulled the offer. So you know what? That's where he lost. So otherwise, he would have been a giant if he took the 12 mil.
I just want to say something real quickly for our buddy Earl. He actually is going to be doing something for Pro Wrestling Tees. He's going to be getting a couple of shirts coming out this summer. So I just want to just want to shout out to my guy Earl for all the hard work that he does with the wrestling stuff. So
Yeah,
he's
man.
gonna be having
Salute to you.
he's gonna be having a couple of shirts coming out, and that's not even a thing. He's gonna have some shirts coming out in the summer from Pro Wrestling Tees. So sorry guys.
King Chris TV says, how you feel about Sanders first, Forbes second, or vice versa?
Mm.
I'm not Sanders. He's still developing as a linebacker. He's better as an edge rusher from his time in Alabama. I'm not saying he can't play off ball, so he is good. I'm just not. I'm not comfortable taking him in the first round. Me personally. Second,
Drew Sanders, you talking about?
yeah,
And you talking about Emmanuel Forbes, the corner,
Forbes from Mississippi State.
Mississippi
Yeah.
State.
No,
I was a little bit higher on Sanders, but I like Nolan Smith better.
Me
And
too.
I think the value for taking Sanders in the first isn't there. Emmanuel Forbes, he's a little bit lower on my corner.
I like Eli
rankings.
Ricks better than him.
Yeah, Ricks is cool. How you guys feel about Ringo?
it was fine.
Kilo Ringo, and then you got, of course, we talked about Deontay Banks. So I'm not too big on that, though. But I mean, look, if they got Drew Sanders, I'd be happy. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could see the potential. But it wouldn't be my first choice.
Where do you think the Clemson linemen are going to be dropping? Murray and Breesy. Brees.
I think they can go anywhere as high as
What's good, Rafi? What's good, Raphael? Appreciate you stopping by, man.
Hey, Raph.
Brees can probably go maybe push depending on what happens in the top of the draft. But I want to know he's probably going to push the mid-teens.
Okay.
Maybe even 14 down into the bottom end of the draft, bottom end of the first round.
Who is that now?
Murphy can go probably the mid
Okay.
to maybe even into the second round. And Brian Brise, or Brise, however you say his name.
Yeah.
Clemson.
He's one of the top defensive tackles coming out, and Murphy's a solid defensive end. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with Clemson defensive linemen. Saying.
So Brian Breesy in the mock draft we just did, he went 17th to Pittsburgh. And who did you say the other one was?
Murphy. I think it's Miles Murphy.
Miles Murphy. Yeah, he went 5th to Seattle.
Oh, he went that high. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of teams. I think he's going to be one of the higher pass rushers coming off the board. He could possibly go off like third or fourth out of the defensive linemen after Anderson and Carter.
But also in that draft, Anderson went 8 too, didn't he?
That's true. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Anderson
Will
was
Anderson is 8th.
yeah,
went
he
eighth.
easy top 5, if not top.
But then Jalen Carter too kind of throws a wrench in things too, because don't nobody know where he's going to end up.
I still think he's going top 10.
Yeah.
I do. I
In
still think
this
he's going
draft,
top
he
10.
went 11th.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
maybe I could see him like if he gets out, it's probably gonna be like a pick or two after the first round. It's the value. They're gonna look at this kid and be like, he just had a rough off season, but this kid's talent is just something that if he somehow drops to an 11 or 12, teams are gonna pounce on him to try to get him. The one thing I'm actually intrigued by is the cornerback market. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the cornerbacks, like Witherspoon, Gonzalez, Ringo, Banks. That's the position I'm really curious to see how that goes, because I think it could go maybe one or two go near the first round, like the first 10 picks, or that I could see that whole position going around the mid to late first, honestly, and like some into the second.
King Chris says, I like Nolan Smith. His size just scare me. He only 230. Yeah.
Elvis Dumerville.
He can also play off the ball as the linebacker.
Yeah, he's versatile.
He's not strictly a edge rusher. He can.
But he sets the edge in the run game as well. You see what I'm saying? Like he's really good at that. And to be already pretty good at run defense, which we need, I'm willing to take that chance on his upside as a pass rusher, despite not having the measurables. Because remember, isn't that how Jerry Reese drafted? Always went after these athletic guys with all these high measurables, these high upside guys, and they never ended up panning out. So
remember the JPP of tight ends, Adrian Robinson.
Adrian Robinson, that was his name. Yeah. That dude sucked.
Ramses Barden.
Ramses Barden was another one. Travis Beckham. These Flowers.
High upside guys that looked good in college, that have a lot of talent. But
Eli Apple,
there's another one. Raw picks.
Yeah, raw picks. Now he hit on a few. He hit on JPP. You know what I'm saying? Beckham. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just guys that's not. Like we need football players. We need football players. And if you get solid football players that have a decent floor, you don't know if they could really excel and get better to take that next step to be a superstar. You don't never know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how hard a guy's gonna work. The coaching plays a factor. Look how many
sometimes system fit.
Look how many picks busted because of coaching. You know what I'm saying? So you can have these high upside guys, or you could just have guys with a high floor, and they just be just as solid and ended up probably being better players. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Joe Shane and them are doing. They've been doing that last year and so far this year, getting guys that fit their system and that are good, smart, tough, dependable football players.
Yes.
And not just these guys that that you think is gonna be this great player because they have these outstanding measurables. It ain't all about that. It ain't about the combine and the underwear Olympics, as they call it.
No.
So
I forgot DeAndre Baker was another one.
Yeah, he was too. Our problem was that we should have moved Flowers to guard. Exactly. And they probably might have to look at doing something similar to Evan Neal.
Yeah.
And so
I really hope Evan Neal can bounce back in this second year. I really do. Because some of the things I was watching are a little alarming. his reaction has got to be much quicker on the outside.
Right, Chris. Feel like it's repeating itself with Neil. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Now let's get in. I'm gonna touch on one thing real quick. That has been kind of on my mind now. The NHL here is winding down. Devils and Rangers have both clinched. The Islanders currently sitting in 7th right now. So all three teams looking to get into the postseason. So I just want to give a round of applause to New York City hockey for holding down this city, man. You know what I'm saying? For holding this city down when the Knicks couldn't do, the Nets, the things going around, the Giants, the Jets, Yankees, Mets failing in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Hockey in New York, for the most part, has been pretty consistent. And this year, we have all three teams that are good. And I'm gonna remind you guys of something. The last time the New York was this popping in 1994, and the Rangers and the Devils both were in the playoffs. They both played each other, and the Nets and the Knicks were both in the playoffs, and
I
they
hated
both
that
played each
year.
other.
Hated that year. Hated that year.
Chances are probably not likely that that's how it's going to pan out, because it looks like if they do play each other, it'll be later on in the playoffs. I don't think the first round playoffs is setting up like that, but I just want to give the hockey teams a little bit of love, as well as, just New York City overall. We do Heart of the City, man, but it's near and dear to my heart, man, because it's New York, man, and
I think that
all
was
these
the last
teams.
time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 94, right?
94, I think, was the last time all 5 winner teams were in the playoffs. The Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Knicks, and Nets, I believe.
Right. So
it's a long time coming.
That's a long time coming, man. So I just want to shout out New York Rangers, New York Devils. Hopefully the Islanders are right
Jersey
behind
Devils. New
New Jersey
Jersey.
Devils. And
Don't
hopefully
put that New York stuff on them Devils, man. That's
can't
your
help it.
Rangers.
Can't help it, man. Y'all can
Get
have
that
the
Jersey
Devils.
pride. I'll take them. I'll take the Devils.
We good with the Rangers, trust me. We good.
I got three
right.
that I saw in my lifetime. I'm happy about that. I got 3
right.
championships with the Devils.
We good with the Rangers. The Rangers did their thing in 94 when,
Yeah, that was terrible.
coach team, the Knicks, couldn't get it done. But shout out to the Knicks as well and the Nets. Both pretty good chance they're gonna be in the playoffs.
John Starks.
This
John
year.
Starks series.
Yeah, 2 for 16.
Yeah, 2 for 16. Sorry, coach.
That was pretty rough right there.
Not as bad as Charles Smith, though. Not as bad as Charles Smith.
Patrick Ewing was the worst. The finger roll. That was the worst.
No,
that
Coach,
was the worst.
What was worse? John Starks, Charles Smith, or Patrick Ewing? I want to hear from a Knicks fan. What was the worst?
We Starks, because it was in the NBA Finals.
Okay.
I mean, that's as simple as that. I mean, even though the others are tough, but Starks was in the NBA Finals, so I have to go with that. As much as I love him.
That was game 6, though. He did that, right? Or was it game 7?
I think it was 7.
I thought it was 7.
Because I know they played 6 and 7 in Houston. Because the Knicks were 3-2 when they went to Houston. They lost both of them games.
Yeah, and they just needed one to win it. Oh.
Pat and Starks blew it. Rangers brought us home, though, right? That's why I'll always be a Rangers fan.
They beat the Islanders and the Devils in playoff run. Beat the Islanders first, then the Devils, and they beat the Canucks afterwards in the championship. I remember that. Matto! That's all I hear. That's all I hear. Don't worry. We got y'all back the year after.
It was game 7.
Torrance at 25 and John Michael Smith in the second. I'm with Smith in the second. I'll say that. Not in the first round. No. Now, Torrance, I think they like who they got, man, to be honest with y'all. I think they like the combination of McKeithen, Azudu, Ben Bredesen, Lemieux.
I like Lemieux too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they like that combination. Even Wyatt Davis. I think they like a combination. Jack Anderson was another one I think he mentioned.
Solomon Kinley, the kid they
Yeah.
got as well from Georgia.
So I think they like one of those guys to step up, man. The biggest thing that's gonna help this team is Evan Neal. If Evan Neal plays well, yes, I get it. We do need a center. But if Evan Neal plays and takes the next step in his development and at least gets to, respectable tackle play, I think the Giants good money, man. Even if they got to put a guy like Ben Bredesen at center. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the center position is really, coach, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a lot of it's mental. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, guys can learn the center position. We've seen Nick Gates do it, John Feliciano do it.
Lemieux is learning how to play center recently
Yeah,
too.
Bredesen, even a lot of guards that got converted to center.
I think Azudu's even tried out at center once before as well.
So it's not something that's out of the ordinary. I understand fans' concern that you want somebody that's played the position and has been, has a little bit more experience at the position. But let's keep it a buck. If you bringing in a rookie, he might have experience playing center, but he don't have experience playing center at the NFL level. If you transition in a guy from guard to center, at least he has experience playing the position at the NFL level. Now, guys learn at different rates, It's like Evan Neal. Some tackles can come in right away and be good. Like what's my man? Slater from
Sean Slater.
Sean Slater. And then some take a little bit of time to develop, like Andrew Thomas. So let's not trying to reach for no center at 25 or guard. If there's now, if those are the best two players on the board, so be it. But I have a feeling we might have some better options. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think it would be foolish to reach for a center. How many centers really go in the first round? I know Linderbaum went in the first round, I believe, but Creed Humphrey was the best center in his rookie year. He was a second round pick.
Shit, look at Nick Gates. That everybody was crying over Nick Gates. He was what, undrafted, wasn't he?
Undrafted player, yup. Sean O'Hara, remember how good Sean O'Hara was?
And he started off as a tackle.
Yeah, remember how good Sean O'Hara was? Undrafted. Rich Seibert, undrafted. You can get quality offensive linemen. You just got to get a good coach that could coach these guys up and develop them. And I got faith in Bobby Johnson that he could do that. So I'm like you, NYG. I'm not like losing my mind if we don't pick a center in the first round because there's probably going to be a whole bunch of quality ones in the second round that you can get. So
second round, third round, or even that's already on your roster. So
exactly.
You don't know. Exactly. You know what I mean? You don't know how the coaches feel about these players either, man. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, like for everything that people were saying about the last regime, they sure do like a lot of the players that they bringing a lot of these guys back. You know what I'm saying? Including some of the ones Joe Judge drafted, and including some of the ones the previous regime drafted when it was Dave Gettleman and Pat Sherman them here.
We still got a Jerry Reese pick on our team.
Yeah, the last one, Mr. Shepard. So
yeah,
but
I'm gonna be a Giant for my entire life.
Shout out to Shep though, man. But shit, man, you gotta think about hanging that shit up at some point, bro.
I think he is. I think we already talked about it.
This has got to be it. Yeah, this has got to be it right here.
I think he's gonna. If he doesn't got it now, he's gonna retire. Oh,
that finger roll. The finger roll hurt. The finger roll hurts.
A lot of Knicks fans I've
Game
heard
7
or talked with,
Game 7.
They say the Charles Smith one was the worst.
Shot the team. He shot the team out of the arena. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Starks was my guy too, though, man. Pause, man. But Starks, man, I did like John Starks, man. You know what I'm saying? I kind of modeled my game after him. He was one of the first what they call 3-and-D guys
Yes.
that that I would watch. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Michael Jordan was, but who could be Michael Jordan? You know what I'm saying? I had a better chance of being John Starks.
Yeah.
So I was always realistic about my basketball playing ability. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I played. I could shoot a 3-pointer and you know what I'm saying, play defense, pause. But Starks was one of the first players, you know what I'm saying, that I grew up watching that was that could do that. Guard Michael Jordan and still go out there and score. And that was tough, man. And that dude was only like 6'3" or something like
He was
that.
small, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Coach, I want to ask you this real quick. What player in the Knicks at that point, like from the 90s to the 2000s, was like you thought was more frustrating but had a lot of talent? It could be something more. John Starks or Allen Houston?
Mm.
Because Houston was good in his time, but he was the whipping boy for the Knicks.
It's Houston, number one, basically,
Okay.
because he was a big free agent acquisition, and then you ended up paying him all that money afterwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because he was the whipping boy with Knicks fans for a while.
But they got to a finals somehow. Him and Sprewell.
And a beat on Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that, man. That was wild, man.
I think they could have beaten the Spurs too. That one
I ain't
year.
think they had no shot.
I think
in hell at
I
beating
think
the
they
Spurs.
could have.
Ain't no that team was Cam. That's when Camby was playing center, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They was you remember Marcus Camby? That dude was a toothpick. You know what I'm saying? And
I like Camby as a player. He was underrated.
I like Camby too, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but going against David Robinson and Tim Duncan, that was a monstrous mismatch, bro.
It's better than Antonio McDyess when he blew out his knee and busted his kneecap the second they traded for him.
Yeah.
Then I'll give you a better opportunity, a better chance. But that team right there against that center, no.
Yeah.
No way in hell they was beating the Spurs.
Centers, yeah, the centers.
Yeah, Justin Pugh, right? Richburg, they got drafted. They turned out the bus.
Yeah.
So
Pugh wasn't a bust per se.
He just got hurt a lot.
Yeah. For the injury.
Richburg.
Starks was listed at 6'5", but he wasn't 6'5".
No, he's smaller.
Jordan was 6'5", and Jordan used to like post this dude up like he was.
You know what I liked a lot from those Knicks teams? I like Charlie Ward, and I like the former net Chris Childs. I thought they were solid players for the Knicks during the 90s. I love Chris Childs with the Nets. I like Chris Childs.
Derek Harper was better.
Yes.
Derek Harper was a very, very underrated. When Derek Harper got to the Knicks, that's when the Knicks, that was like the missing piece. And that could be Brunson. We don't know. But when Derek Harper got there, he really took that team over the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like Charlie Ward though. I think he was an underrated player for that Knicks team too. I think he fit in pretty well with that Knicks team.
I think you was about to say so. What you think?
You say Chris Childs to me, I always think about this crack against Kobe Bryant.
Oh, the two piece, yeah.
Like, oh, and that's like, yo, Chris Childs is straight New York. He is. No. So
love Chris Childs with the Nets
and LJ on that team. Yeah, LJ,
Larry
Johnson, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. the L. That's right.
The L, yeah.
Herb Williams, the classic, the true New York.
Yes, Herb Williams, absolutely.
Herb Williams, man. Jordan could have been on that team. Yeah, we still would have lost. Yeah, that was not.
I still think that Nets team could have beaten the Spurs because we had that team when we played them that second time. We could have beaten that Spurs team.
I think they should have.
I think it was Robinson's last year that we should have beaten that team, and the Nets blew it in Game 6. If they beat them in Game 6, I felt confident we were going to win the championship in Game 7.
Yeah,
that's where I believe they felt. I felt they blew it. I loved Hubert
Hubert
Davis.
Davis.
Too.
I'm
He's
mad at Hubert Davis,
intangible.
man. I'm mad at
Intangible
Hubert Davis
player.
right now. He was a good player, but I'm mad at he running my Tar Heels into the ground, man. Like
Yeah, well,
this ain't good right here, Hubert, man. Like what you doing, bro?
I like Doc Rivers too. I thought Doc Rivers was a solid player too.
Mark Jackson.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was pre this was like a little bit before, because remember they traded Mark. I think did he get traded or did he leave in the free agency?
I think he might have.
No, I think he got traded first time.
He got traded, didn't
To
he?
the Pacers,
the
right?
Pacers, yeah.
Yeah.
And he always had some. Every time he used to play the Knicks, he had that.
He went to the
like.
That's how we got Charles Smith.
That's right.
He went to the who?
The
Clippers.
Oh,
he was
Pacers got him later. Yeah.
He went to the Pacers after the fact.
Yep.
I'm sure you're happy about that one.
Yeah.
I like Charles Smith too. The dude was not that terrible of a player. It's just he always gets the hate because of that play.
I'm going to say this. They were forcing Charles Smith to play out of position. I get it. I get what they were trying to do, but he was not a small forward.
No.
He was a power forward, and that to me was the biggest mistake. Now, Mason.
Rolando Blackman. Wow, that's going back.
You couldn't do it because you had Oakley and you had Mason.
Now, Mason could play small forward because he was athletic and he had great handle.
Yeah. Mason was one of the first point forwards.
Yes.
Him and Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. First, yeah, I get what
that's a dog. That is a dog. Anthony Mason was a dog on the basketball court. Those two, him and Oakley. You don't want to mess with that Knicks team when you had to go run into Charles Oakley. You had to run into Anthony Mason.
Exactly. Yeah. And nobody except for Miami wanted to knuckle up, because I still remember Charlie Ward and PJ Brown.
Yeah.
And the Pacers. The Pacers used to battle the Davis boys. They used to.
Yeah. Dale and Antonio, I think.
And big old doofy looking Smits. He was rough too.
Rick Smits. Yeah. Detlef Shrimp. Don't forget about Detlef Shrimp.
They was a pretty rugged team, man. But you're right,
Miami Knicks series were great.
Miami and the Knicks, man. Those are two
Zoe and Ewing battling it out at center. And you got Tim Hardaway going against the John Starks. That's some great rivalries back in the day between those Heat and Knicks teams. That was good stuff.
You think Glenn Rice was on those teams?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember Glenn Rice on that team, the sharpshooter from the outside.
And into the great Hakeem. Yeah. Hakeem, man.
The whole team.
It was smooth, man. Robert Horry.
Sam Cassell. Mario Ellie.
Yeah.
You had Clyde Drexler,
Vernon
Kenny
Maxwell.
the Jet Smith.
Yeah, that team was cooking, man. A few Hall of Famers on that team, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was that Cassell's rookie year?
Yeah.
Cassell's, I think, rookie year where he just took off in that series.
Mason was dope, man.
Clyde Drexler in Houston.
The old Bullets were tough.
It is not because of the Rockets. It will always be because of the Houston Cougars. Man, I still remember to this day when he would hit high slammer jammer.
Slammer jammer, yeah, with
I call
Ralph Sampson, right?
No, Hakeem. It was
Hakeem and
Clyde Drexler.
And Drexler, that's right.
I call it high because Drexler, when he jumped, I'm telling you, literally, he kissed the rim coming down the lane. That's how high he could jump. So it was.
Mirasan, yeah, big old George Mirasan.
Mirasan, man.
The old Bullets teams, yep.
Oh my God, George Mirasan. Talk about going back. I remember him.
Yeah. The first 7'7" centers out there besides Manute Bol, George Mirasan, and Sean Bradley.
Oh,
yeah.
Sean Bradley.
Yeah. All was over 7'6". All three of them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? But Manute Bol was actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Mirasan was decent too. You know what I'm saying? I thought Sean Bradley was a waste.
No, they're not like Michael Olowokandi or anything.
But yeah.
Michael Olowokandi. Oof. Woofa.
I drafted second.
Yeah.
Who did all over candy?
No.
No. Sean Bradley.
I think it was second.
Yeah. Sean Bradley was a waste. Yeah.
You remember that guy that got picked in 2003 in that great draft? The Pistons picked him, like the highly regarded player coming, I believe. I forget what his name is. You remember that guy that they were talking about could be the best player in that draft with LeBron, Carmelo, Wade.
Oh,
You know what? They said this kid is going to be like the next great player, and he flopped.
You?
That was the 03 draft.
I'm going to say.
International Center. Right?
Yeah, it was like one of the European players, I think.
Darko Milicic.
Darko
Milicic. Yep. They said this guy was going to be like the next great player coming out, and he sucked.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
He was
a lot
bad.
of fans were busting on him because they passed. I think they picked him second, and you passed on Wade, you passed on Bosch.
Well, it's just like the Blazers did with Greg Oden. They did it twice.
I think Oden was injuries. Oden, I think, was more injuries
passed
than anything.
on who was it? Was it Durant in that draft?
Yes. Yeah, they picked him
passed
first
on
Durant,
and then they took
Sam Bowie.
Bowie over Jordan. Like they did it twice. Like God,
injuries wrecked those guys' career more than anything. Odin was all injuries. That dude could never stay healthy. That's what really wrecked his
NBA
career.
NBC, I do too, man.
Me too. Yes.
Yeah, man.
I heard they're gonna bring that back. They're thinking about bringing that back.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be the same though, man. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see it though, but it ain't gonna be the same.
Hearing Marv Albert, calling the Knicks games back in the day. It's good stuff. Darko was a huge Yeah, he sucked.
Brandon Roy was another one the Blazers missed on. You know what I'm saying?
He
was good though, but yeah, he was hurt though a lot, but he was pretty good. I will say that.
I like Brandon Roy out of Nova.
Yeah. Let's dive into a few baseball nuggets, and then we could wrap it up with Coach's Corner and get into the Final Four. So we right at 2:40. I'm not gonna go no longer than 3 hours with these streams anymore because it's just too much for me to cut up.
Who else got injured for the Yankees or Mets? That's the notes.
So the Yankees projecting starting lineup. DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, and outfield. Anthony Rizzo. They got Stanton. Gleyber Torres at second. Donaldson at third.
Oh, man.
Aaron Hicks.
Oh man.
Jose Trevino and the bright spot in all this, Anthony Volpe. At shortstop. The starting rotation is even more concerning. You got Garrett Cole, Clark Smith, Johnny Brito, Nestor Cortez, and Domingo Germán. Look, Aaron Judge got paid a lot of money, and he gonna have to earn that money because this team ain't looking too hot at all. Like he gonna have to earn them M's, bro. You got to earn this money because we need you. We need you right now to get through these injuries that keep piling up on this team. We're gonna need Aaron Judge to carry this team and Garrett Cole to carry, because these are the two making what? How much? Over 300 million?
I think so. Like around 300 mil for both.
Yeah. It's on y'all. Straight up. I hate to put it that way, but this lineup is not looking great. And that just is what it is, man.
It's the same as last year, except you just have Volpe instead of IKF.
Yeah. Now Volpe is promising.
I like him a lot.
I'm excited to see what he can do out there. You know what I'm saying? I hope he don't take the Gleyber Torres route and get us, you know what I'm saying, and then come back and not not be who we thought he was. So Gleyber Torres is another one. Like, you got to pick it up. He had a rough season, but I mean the potential was there. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are gonna have to pick it up. LeMahieu, we need a bounce back season from him. You know, I think when he's right, LeMahieu's a good player. So I ain't expecting nothing out of Hicks or Josh Donaldson. Very little, if anything, they can give you. It'll be a boost. Rizzo and Stanton, they're gonna have to be a little more consistent with the bat. But outside of that, man, this team is iffy. And the only way we're gonna get through this little injury bug is by, Judge being who he was last season, and Garrett Cole stepping it up a little bit. Not saying he had a bad year last year, but I want to see the $300 million man that the Yankees paid for. But spring training, when are we starting? It is Friday.
I think it's Thursday or Friday because the Mets start Thursday.
Yankees.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the baseball season.
Yeah, I think Yankee schedule here. So home opener. Thursday against the San Francisco Giants. So
You guys should beat them.
let's take care of business here. Got a 3-game set against the Giants. 3 against Philly, and then you go on the road to Baltimore. So the Yankees, let's hope they get off to a decent start, and at least weather the storm. And hopefully we can get some of these guys back. Rodon, Bader, Severino. But that's the NYG Yankee report, man.
How
Turn
long
it
are
over
these
to you,
guys
Jets,
out for?
with the
How long are
Mets.
How long are those guys out for? Did they give a timeline?
I think they talking about putting Bader and Rodon on a 60-day DL.
Oh my God.
So
that's
I
not
think
good.
that's what I read. So that, don't quote me on that. That's not me reporting like something definitive, but I think that's what I seen. Is that they both looking at the 60-day DL to start the season.
That's tough, especially with Rodon. You just got him, and he's gonna be out for
Right.
potentially 2 months.
Right, and we need that pitching, man.
Yeah.
And Severino. You know what I'm
He
saying?
always gets hurt. Severino's always hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude never is healthy. He's a good pitcher. He's just always on the IL all the time.
Bro, we got Clark Smits, and
he's not too bad.
I mean,
he's not terrible. I mean, for just a guy, Herman's solid.
I like Cortez. Cole's got to step it up. Herman's
got to be great.
But I'm not confident in the other two, Smits and his Brito.
Is he a prospect or a guy you picked up?
Johnny Brito. Let's take a look here, cause
yeah, your starting rotation's just been wrecked this whole spring training. That's the problem with the Yankees. Their starting rotation's just been wrecked with injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's a prospect.
Okay.
number 10 prospect. So, but the injuries, man, they don't have no choice. They don't have no choice.
Why don't you put this Cabrera kid or put Florial in the
they
outfield?
they
Why do
are
you keep playing
talking.
Hicks?
They are talking about Cabrera and Florio possibly making the roster just because of what I said about uh Rodon and Bader possibly being in the 60-day DL. They're
Yeah,
gonna need that. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be real interesting here.
that's tough, guys.
It's tough, man. It's tough,
Well,
man. But give me your news on the Mets. I see
well,
you, Breezy. You can pop back on, but
what's up, Breezy?
I'm probably gonna wrap this thing up here in about 10 minutes or so.
Well, it hasn't been as lovely in Port St. Lucie either because we've also had been a mess injury wise. I mean,
Moon on the clock. Yep.
Edwin Diaz gets injured celebrating in the World Baseball Classic. I know it's a freak injury, but we just lost our highest paid player and our closer for the season now, and we're trying to piece together a bullpen right now. We don't have a closer. So we're trying to piece together with David Robertson, with Brooks Raley, who we traded for, with Adam Ottavino, Drew Smith. I don't know if any of these guys could be a closer right now. I think they're good setup guys. Maybe Robertson could be a closer, but I'm not banking on it. I mean, we lost Jose Quintana, who unfortunately had a lesion in his rib that they discovered. He's going to be out until, I believe, July, maybe even August. So that's one of our 5 starters that's going to be out for a good amount of time. So we have David Peterson coming in as one of our starters right now. So, and you want to talk about your lineup pretty much being the same? So is ours. Brandon Nimmo starting at center field. We have Starling Marte in right, Mark Canada on left. You got Jeff McNeil at second. You got Pete Alonso at first. You got Eduardo Escobar at third. Francisco Lindor shortstop. And you got right now Omar Narvaez or Tomas Nido at catcher. And you got Daniel Vogelbach. And thank God they released Darren Ruff. But it sounds like they're going to be going with Tim LaCastro or Tommy Pham at DH. And what you guys did with Volpe, the Mets didn't do with their top prospects. They sent down Mark Vientos. They sent down Brett Beatty. They sent down Francisco Alvarez, and they sent down Ronnie Mauricio, who a lot of these guys were raking in spring training, but they decided to send them down because they weren't going to get consistent at-bats because the Mets are going to go with their veterans right now. Escobar third. You got, like I mentioned, Omar Narvaez and Tomas Nido splitting time at catcher. You got LaCastro, Pham, and Vogelbach at DH. So if these guys falter, and I don't think they have that long of a leash, if they falter, I would not be shocked if this team starts bringing up their top prospects. I want to see Beatty at third. He was raking it in spring training. I want to see him play third base. I want to see Francisco Alvarez at catcher. I want to see Mark Vientos at designated hitter. I want to see our kids. I want to see our Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso, and Jeff McNeil coming up. That's what I'd like to see. So I want to see the young kids, but I understand why they're going with the vets right now because they're paying them. In terms of the starting rotation, I mean, it's all going to hedge on. Everything is going to hedge on Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. These guys have got to stay healthy and they got to pitch good. And you're putting a lot. You are putting a lot on a 40-year-old and a 38-year-old, soon to be 39-year-old starting pitcher, no matter how good they are. We are an old team, especially in the rotation. Our youngest pitcher is 30, and Kodai Senga, who has had a couple of rough starts in spring training, but he's got to get used to the major leagues. So I think it's going to take him a little bit of time.
Who you got behind Verlander and Scherzer?
We got Cookie Carrasco, who we were thinking about trading, but he's going to be, I think, a fifth starter. You got Kodai Senga, and we got Tyler McGill, and then you got David Peterson, who's going to be there, who's going to be in the rotation. He's taking the spot for Quintana, so he's the left-handed pitcher. He's good. He's solid. I mean, he's a good middle to back end of the rotation guy. He just gets hurt. He got hurt too, but It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
I think you.
Separate with
Yeah,
us
I think
either.
you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. It's pretty much. It's
But
pretty
I
much
have a
holding
little bit
on.
more confidence though. I do have confidence that we still have young kids that are on the way, and I think that some of these kids can really come up and make an impact for this team. It's really going to depend on our starting rotation staying healthy, our lineup staying healthy because we got lucky with Nimmo. I thought when Nimmo got hurt sliding into third base, I'm like, oh no, please God, not Nimmo, because it's so ironic. Our two highest players we signed, one of them blows out his knee celebrating, and the other one slides into third base, and it looked like he blew out his ankle. Thank God he's at least going to be okay because he's our engine of our team. Like Bader's
Mhm.
with you guys, Nimmo is the engine of our team. So
Yeah,
thank
we
God
need
he's
Bader,
healthy.
man.
You do. Bader was a
Yeah,
major blow to your lineup. So
definitely, man. Especially if you gotta put Aaron Hicks.
I don't know why you know why they're doing it because it's the same thing like a football team justifying their draft pick. Brian Cashman is not going to admit I effed up with Aaron Hicks like he did with Jacoby Ellsbury. He is going to throw him out there over and over and over again because the amount of money they're paying this dude. Period.
It's the old adage with the Yankees. Is it the chicken or the egg? Is it
Mm-hmm.
Boone or is it Cashman?
I think it's
Is
both.
it Boone or is it Cashman? Personally, get them both out of here if they don't get it done this year. After this year, I don't I'm not going to defend this regime anymore because you're wasting the prime years of Judge and some of these other guys, man. Now you're starting to waste it because you guys keep wanting to do the same shit over and over again.
You're not
It's
different.
insanity.
You're not a
Exactly.
different team. You're the
They
same
keep doing the
team.
same thing over and over again. They keep getting these swing and miss guys, these power pitches that get hurt because they're trying to throw through the glove, and they don't know
Can't
how to
stand
pitch.
that.
They're just swing and miss guys.
I
The
can't
same
stand
thing with
those
the pitches,
pitchers. Mm-hmm.
strikeout pitches. Garrett Cole, you know what I'm saying? Cortez pitches a little bit, but most of these guys are power pitchers. You got power hitters. You have no balance on your team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
You want
be killing me about the Yankees.
you want me to tell you who I think your key is on your team? DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, DJ
absolutely.
LeMahieu is your key. That guy is that type of player that you were just
Because
talking about. That can just a slap
he
hitter and get on
contact,
base.
contact,
Exactly.
And Bader
Bader's
was
too. I'm
another
glad you
one.
brought him up. Bader's another one.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you
So they
need a bounce back season from Gleyber Torres. You need this guy to
absolutely.
give you something. He has
Mm-hmm.
to give you something because he's too talented to be this bad. He's too
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He's got to give you something in that lineup. Period. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, for your sake, because I don't hate the Yankees. I'm not a Mets fan. Hoping like gonna laugh if the Yankees lose, but I
Mm-hmm.
hope this Volpe kid is going to be great because he's been hyped up like a really big time prospect. Probably the best prospect you had since Gleyber Torres, Aaron Judge, Greg Bird, those guys, Gary Sanchez. So I hope this kid could be good. It's good for the city. So I
Mm-hmm.
hope Volpe is going to be the answer. I really do.
I think they just do not need to put that kind of pressure on him right away. Let him develop and as a fielder, kid's great in the field. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The hitting will come, you know what I'm saying, over time. Just keep working with the hitting coach. But these other guys they gotta perform. When you playing baseball and you hitting, a lot of your production is based on the guy in front of you, the guy behind you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you getting in, able to drive runs in because the guys in front of you are getting on base, or whether you're able to score runs, because the guys behind you are driving you in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I want them to help out Anthony Volpe and not have so much pressure on him because ain't nobody getting on base and
Mm-hmm.
can't nobody, you know what I'm saying, drive runs in, besides Aaron Judge, man. You cannot. This team is so swing and miss. They so helter skelter in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have trouble with runners in scoring position sometimes,
Who's your
especially in the
closer, by the
playoffs.
way? Who's the
Um,
Yankees closer? And the
Um,
bullpen.
I just looked at it. Is it Holmes?
Clay Holmes.
I think it's Clay Holmes. Yeah, I think
What
it's Clay
about
Holmes.
King? Is King back from injury? Because he was a. We talked about it last year. That guy was a major loss for that team when he got hurt.
I
They need to get him healthy and back in that
think
bullpen.
he's still hurt.
I know Chapman experiment finally came to an end.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Well, who do you guys? I'm asking this because I'm curious, like what you guys think. Like who do you view as your biggest competition going into this season in the division? Like who do you look at and be like, that's the team that we're going to be competing with all season? Is it the Orioles, who got a lot of young talent? Is it the Blue Jays, who are going to
I
be
think
good?
it's
And you know the
Toronto.
Rays. Okay.
I think it's Toronto and the Rays.
Okay.
Those are the teams that usually give us problems anyway. And I mean, yeah, they're gonna still be good. They're gonna be good this year. I'm not big on the Red Sox. The Orioles, we'll see. We'll see with the Orioles, but I'm not big on the Michael King's yeah, he's think going to be in the rotation. I don't think he's going to start as a I think Clay Holmes is going to be the closer, I think. Could be wrong. I have to ask somebody like Alex.
Okay.
But Big Blue in the Bronx, man. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
but
him and Luca would probably have a better idea. What
yeah,
did Coach think?
they do. But I think Clay Holmes is gonna be that it. And but what was your question again, Jeff?
No, I was curious to hear like what Coach thinks about the Yankees because I know he's a Yankees fan. Like what he's feeling about the Yankees going into the season, his confidence level.
What's good, Almighty? What's good, man? Appreciate you coming through.
Hey, Almighty.
So it's way too early for me in baseball.
O's have been giving us some tough play the past couple seasons. They have.
The team's got a lot of good young talent on. They're building up.
Where's Snarf at? Oh,
Snarf's with the Big Blue crew.
Snarf is part of the Big Blue crew, man. But
Yes.
I haven't seen him over on this channel too much, man. But shout out to Snarf. Coach, though, you still there, man? What you think, man? What's your projection, man? What you think about this squad, man? This Yankee squad, man.
Too early for me.
Yeah,
early.
it is early. It is early. I'm just, you know what I'm saying,
No, I
getting a feel for how it all, you know, and it just looked like the same team. You know
I feel it already. I feel the misery coming off. Like I just feel it from you.
It looked like the same damn team.
Baseball for me is usually June, end of May, is the early part for me, but really May, and then you get into the summer. That's when it's that's when it's baseball for me.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing heavy baseball soon because
I like
free
it.
agency is winding down. The NBA is winding down. But let's transition. As we get ready to get out of here, we're at the 3 hour and 3 minute mark. Almighty says tomorrow's a must win against the Heat. Absolutely. Y'all need to take care of business against the Heat. So it helps out the Nets too. So, but Coach, take us out, man, with Coach's Corner, man. And your thoughts on the NCAA Final Four, men's and women's. What you got for us?
When it comes to the Final Four, this year's men's Final Four has been very surprising. Excuse me.
It's different.
It's very surprising. I mean, first of all, you don't have any number ones
or twos, right?
Or threes. The highest ranked is UConn at a 4 seed.
4, yeah.
2 5s and a 9. I mean, FAU definitely, has been, there have been a lot of, through this whole tournament, a lot of upsets. I mean, FAU, Princeton, FAU. I mean, we could go through and pick out a lot of them. That's what has been so impressive. I mean, Miami of Florida by itself, taking down Houston. Um, it's definitely surprising. Even UConn. I mean, to get to the Final Four, they destroyed Gonzaga. I mean, literally,
Mm,
Gonzaga is
yeah.
82-54. I mean, I wasn't
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting that.
Mm.
I really wasn't expecting that.
And
So
Gonzaga been like a top team all season,
yes, and
not just this season, but
every
every year. So
Coach Few has done a good job over there with that program. So, but Danny Hurley, Jersey boy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
his
mm.
thing. I mean, he's raised UConn back to where everyone is expecting them, and right now they have to be the favorites going in. I mean, I'm not sleeping on Miami. Miami has proven that they can definitely play ball. So, but those two to me are the favorites to probably win it. San Diego State, taking down Creighton, another Big Ten team. I mean, Big East, but their big win really was Alabama. Alabama was the
Mm.
number one team in the country basically going into the tournament.
Did we really think Alabama was gonna win
No,
NCAA championship after they didn't been dominating? Well, not recently, but previous decade or so dominating college. Like we really thought that they was going to win in
no.
basketball. I could not buy Alabama all season. That's
Roll Tide.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, rolled. They got
Yeah,
rolled, all
roll.
right.
Just like your football team did in the winter.
Right.
Alabama, we always think football. So,
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Trying to be a basketball spook. Get your ass out of
That's
here.
like North Carolina thinking that they're more of a football school when
Right.
they're really basketball.
You know what I'm saying? I don't take Carolina serious. They do be having some good players though. Like now they got Josh Downs coming out. We got Azudu and McKeithen from them. So, but as far as taking them serious in the national champion, no.
Coach, it pisses me off because I look at this tournament and I'm like, God damn it, if Rutgers just got their heads on straight, who knows what we could have done with how open this tournament has been this year.
I feel like that
Seriously.
about the Tar Heels.
let me
Mm.
let me say this when it comes to Rutgers, and you know how much I love Rutgers. Um, and this tournament, but no, I'm starting to have questions about Rutgers' ability to compete in this tournament this year. I think the selection committee actually now got it right. Um, and it's not really because of what happened to Rutgers, is watching the Big Ten and the teams in the Big Ten. And it's every year. It's the same thing for the most
Mhm.
part. You get 9, 10 teams in and you fizzle out.
Mhm. Good point.
You'll be lucky if you get a team to make it all the way. Most of the times, you're pretty much gone. I mean, this year, let me see, who was the last Big Ten team? Michigan
Was it
State. Yeah, it was Michigan State. They lost to Kansas State.
okay?
So, but prior to that, Northwestern lost to UCLA. The round before that, Indiana to Miami.
Mm.
So, I mean, I love Rutgers, and I want to see them do well. But um, every year in the Big Ten on the men's side fizzles out. Conversely,
Mhm.
the women they do well. I mean, the women just ended up having three teams that were in well, one made it to the Final Four, but you had three teams that were able had the possibility of making it. With Maryland, Ohio State, and Iowa. Now Iowa
Mm.
was the one that made it in, but getting back to the men, that's the thing about um, the men's team and what I think about Rutgers. When I sit down and I really look at it, so
Okay.
but that's the men's Final Four. That how it is right now. We have out of the South Division, it was San Diego State University. Out of the East, it was FAU, Florida Atlantic
That's
University.
who I'm picking. I want FAU to win it. I think it'd be very fitting with this tournament to see FAU win it.
Everyone is, sleep wanting them because they're the darlings. It's their, no one really thought about them, and they're considered, even though they're playing the American Athletic Conference, they're kind of considered a mid major type of a program. So,
Mhm.
Mhm. Right.
so
I think they'd be the lowest seed that would win it ever, because the lowest seed was Mac the Giants fans, the Villanova Wildcats that were an 8 seed that won in '85. So if FAU wins the whole thing, they'd
Yeah,
be the
ninth.
lowest
Yeah,
seed
ninth
ever.
seed, right?
They'd be
Yeah.
the lowest seed ever to win a championship. But I just want to ask you this real quickly, Coach, because I know you're very in depth when it comes to like the college basketball. Do you think that a lot of this tournament and how wacky it's been is due to just the competitive balance overall in the tournament? That everybody's a lot closer than people think? Or do you think that these 1 and 2 seeds were not as strong compared to prior years? I just wanted to ask you that.
it's a little bit of both. I mean,
Okay.
I really, you know, didn't think that, when you sit down and you thought about it, Houston probably was the one I thought because, they've always been there. They've always been that number one seed. I mean, they've been number one. Kansas surprised me, but, they did lose to a good Arkansas team. But I really wasn't impressed. You know, Purdue can't even handle beating Jersey teams. So,
Let's go
I'll,
Fairleigh D, baby.
I'll leave it there for you like that. So, and Purdue started out hot and they fizzled out. Up and down, and you have probably the favorite to who's the most probably dominant big man right now in college basketball. But then again, you know, look at me, 6'4", I mean 7'4", 290, 300 pounds. I mean, he can just tower and move people. So, but I mean, Alabama, mm, like NYG just said, did we think? No, we didn't. Did we take them seriously? No, we didn't. So, to your point, to your question, Jeff, it's a little bit.
They
It's,
are who we thought they were, Coach.
Exactly. That's a good point.
but there is also balance. I mean, the mid majors nowadays in college basketball know that they can play with the upper echelon. I mean, going back, the biggest thing for me with FDU is, when you look at, FDU had no players over 6'7", no players over 6'7", and you beat the number one
That's
team
crazy.
or a number one seed, but you had no players over 6'7". What does that tell you? They're a mid major and they know that they can play, and I think that's going to bode well for them going forward. Princeton, we always know Princeton
Hmm.
always fundamentally sound each and every time they get in there. And it's just like you always say, okay, who are they going to upset? We expect them to at least have an upset. So, and the Big East is not the old Big East. It's kind of regulated to a mid majors per se, but we know that they still play good basketball. So,
Hmm.
it's not like football. In basketball, and with basketball, you just need one or two players, and you can compete with anyone. Football, you need a full team. So
Yeah.
that's why, it's to your question, Jeff. It's the balance is there, but the number one seeds were not as tough as I thought. So
Thank you. I asked Mac the same question on Sunday, so I just wanted to like hear from a couple of people that know the tournament in and out. So appreciate you answering that for myself in the chat and NYG.
and as far as the women's Final Four, um, you had um, Louisville. Iowa beating Louisville 97-83. Um, you had Virginia Tech beating Ohio State 84-74. LSU beating Miami of Florida 54-42. And South Carolina beating Maryland 86-75. So even though Diamond Miller started off slow, she did kind of round into play, but South Carolina is just set. They're just set.
South, yeah, man.
You know,
Shout
so
out to Virginia Tech though. I do
mhm.
want to give a shout out to Virginia Tech. I got family in that area, in the Virginia Tech area.
Mhm.
Big Tech fans, so I know they're happy. Seeing the ladies in the
Further's
Final
probably happy
Four.
too. Further
You
AM's
know.
a big Virginia Tech guy.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to Virginia Tech, man. If any of my people's listening, man, congratulations, man. Because Tech has had its struggles as of recently, in basketball and football. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, good to see them finally come out and have some success. But go ahead, coach.
I do want to say one thing. The in terms of the Iowa program, uh, major respect to Caitlin Clark. I mean, that girl is a straight beast on the basketball court. I mean, she scored 41 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds.
Do what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
she balled. She played
I have to pull up some highlights. What's her name?
um
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Yes.
I think John Cena actually shouted her out recently too.
Peyton Clark.
Kate.
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Okay.
Was it Is it Caitli?
Yeah. And
So
they say CLARKE.
yeah, no, it's just
Or is it just K?
okay.
Okay.
So, the other thing is much respect to the people. They said this has been one of the most watched women's tournament in history. So people are starting to take heed to the women's game, and they're appreciating it and they're watching it more. The women, they definitely play the game. They're fundamentally sound. I mean, it's not always about 3 pointers and dunks. They'll take it to the mid range. They play good defense. They set good screens. So they're competitive. So um, it's definitely been a joy to hear. I wish I could have seen a few more games. Friday's game though between South Carolina and Iowa. Um, all I can suggest, if you're not doing anything or you have time, pull up, sit back, get you some popcorn, your beer, whatever, and just watch the game because that's going to be a good one. I'm hoping that Iowa can stay with South Carolina. South Carolina is just too damn deep. I can't lie. But I think Clark, she's rounding into form, and she's going to go out there, and of course, you're going to be going up against, the potential number one overall draft pick from South Carolina. What's her name? Sorry, let me pull up her name. Aaliyah Boston. I mean, Leah against Maryland, 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, so she's definitely, definitely a good player. But, it's definitely going to be a good one. Um, I'm still sad to see Maryland go out, but, for selfish reasons, Diamond Miller ended up 24 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and she literally played all 5 positions. So, she was out there giving it her all. So it started slow, but she ended up with 24 points. So, um, and want to give credit to LSU and their head coach. Uh, she left Baylor. I keep forgetting her name.
Someone that can play all 5 positions. Ben Simmons, take notes.
Yeah, but Diamond can score though. So, but again,
Yo, her range is ridiculous, yo.
yes, yes, she can ball, man. So, and that's why I'm just so ecstatic seeing these young ladies moving on to the next round, next chapter in their lives. I think she's going to be declaring after her last game. So,
She's a
um,
junior.
I think she is.
Is that her redshirt sophomore?
Yeah, after 3 years, she can. No, she can. Yeah, she can go after 3 years.
Okay.
I think the women are a little. I don't think anyone's ever left one and done. But yeah, she's 21, so yeah, I think she's a red shirt.
Yeah, much respect to the ladies, man. It is it is something that you know isn't given enough credit for how these women do play basketball. There is a certain stereotype,
Hmm.
and I mean, just to see, because I mean, I'm a basketball fan. Just to see the skill level, um, the concentration, the ball handling ability, you know, the technique with your jump shot, the follow through, the consistency. Watching some of these women play, it's phenomenal, you
Hmm.
know. And definitely shout out to the ladies, man.
No
And
doubt.
again, man, you know, women's sports is just as important as men's sports, man. Don't get it twisted, man. The ladies ball out too, fellas. So, you know, we always want to give the women love here on this show.
Nomads. I mean, you're right in that regard. Women have to watch that and support women athletes. You're 1,000% correct. But women aren't raised like that. See, boys are raised like that. So it's still a responsibility to our society to, to get women to be competitive, to understand the importance of sports, and then getting involved. Now I am seeing more and more nowadays women involved, and they're very smart. They're very adept in sports. So they're growing, whether it, through fantasy sports, whether it's through betting, but they're growing. But still, the bottom line is, as young girls, society doesn't teach them that, they have an important role to play in sports. I mean, parents have to understand that also, that, you want to teach, just like you want to teach your sons to go out there to play sports, to be busy, to be active, the same thing should be for your daughters.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter the sport.
Absolutely.
Even
Absolutely, coach.
if it's football, girls can play football. I mean, coached, I've coached against women in minor league semi-pro football, and they were holding their own. So, it's we all have a responsibility to encourage young girls to go out there and compete, and then it will eventually transition. I talk about Diamond Miller. Her father was played a big role in her development in basketball. So that's your parents being there to help you, guide you, mold you, and push you. So, yes, to get women to be involved and to watch, yes, they have to gain that interest, yes. But we have to start grooming them at a young age to be able to do that. So that's just
There's
my opinion.
there's there's softball, soccer, tennis, volleyball,
Golf,
golf,
There's also
basketball,
there's hockey,
basketball,
there's hockey,
hockey,
yeah,
hockey.
hockey,
so
you
like I
know. So
There's even football.
there's now coming from personal experience, my daughter, you know, she played volleyball. Um and so I mean, and you know, there's kids now playing softball as
Hmm.
well as basketball, you know. My daughter tried out for basketball, but my wife, she was a basketball player, women's basketball player. So definitely, you
yeah,
know, if your daughter is in sports, into sports, support her, love her, just as you would do your son,
Absolutely.
because it is very important, you know what I mean? Because we do need more women involved in sports, man. You know, it's not just a man's game, because every man on that football field, guess what they have? More than likely, they have a woman behind the scenes, whether it be your mother, your daughter, or your wife, your grandmother, aunties supporting you. So
Hmm.
definitely support the women out here, man. But good stuff, coach, man. You always bring the fire, man, to the show, man.
That's right, Coach. That's right.
We have to change the stigmatism. That's why, you see the WNBA players, making the argument that, they need to be paid equally as the men,
And they should.
and they should, because the top WNBA players are getting around 275 million dollars.
And that's not even minimum wage in the NBA, is it?
Sorry, 100.
No.
So you think about why do our women in this country, a lot of them go overseas because that's where they can make their money. Where you want to be at home and you want to make that money, so as well as playing in front of your
I agree. No Mets. Women MMA is something that's beginning to be very popular.
You know what's also becoming popular for a while? Women's wrestling. WWE and AEW, they're
Good
pushing
point.
women's wrestling in a big way.
Plug
Big
that
way.
in, Jeffy. Talk about some of the women wrestlers, man. Yeah, let's
I
do
can
that,
talk
man.
about it right now.
I'll
Two of
give
the
you a little
biggest
segment
women.
here. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Two of the biggest women right here that were part of MMA before, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Both of them were big impact people in the MMA, and they're actually going to be involved at WrestleMania. You remember Trish and Lita? Guess what? They're going to be at WrestleMania 2 this year. They're going to be tagging up with Becky Lynch in a 6-woman tag match against Damage Control this Saturday or Sunday. There's also going to be a couple of big-time women's title matchups that are going to be happening. One of them might be headlining WrestleMania. And only 2 times before, you've had women headline WrestleMania. That was a few years ago when you had Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey for the Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship, or Raw Women's Championship. And you had Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair became the first African-American woman to hold the Women's Championship for 1 full year. No woman has ever done that, but she's the first one to do it. And she has been a staple of WWE Women's Wrestling for over a year. Incredibly talented woman. I don't know if you've seen her coach or NYG. This woman is as gifted can be when it comes to being in the ring. Great on the mic, incredible PR person. So there's major impacts with the women in AEW.
Can you give us a visual real quick, Jeffy?
Let me see if I can find a picture of Bianca Belair.
If you could
she's good. Like I'm telling you, like you see her, she's got an incredibly gifted physique, but this woman can do some things in the ring that you'd be like stunned how good she is. Like she is really, really good. Let me see if I can get it in there in the private chat. Her husband's not that bad either. Montez Ford, he's incredible too. I just shared you. They put it in the private chat. Let me see if it's there. Did it?
No, I got something here from.
Oh, my bad.
Saquon Barkley. All right, there it is.
Try it now. Like she's really. I'm not even joking. Like this woman's really good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like if you ever get a time, watch her stuff. She's going to be in a huge matchup at WrestleMania this weekend, and I'm actually excited for her match against Asuka. I mean, WrestleMania. That's another thing. If you're a wrestling fan, and I'm not even trying to make this a cheap plug, WrestleMania is here. Like WrestleMania season. This is what all these people come up to look for. Your WrestleMania fix. You're going to have big-time matchups, including Roman Reigns, who has been the WWE Universal Champion for almost 1,000 days. You're talking about one of the most historic reigns in history in terms of wrestling. He's going to be almost 1,000 days as champion. He's going up against the wrestler Cody Rhodes.
So Cody Rhodes is going to be challenging. This is her, right?
That's Bianca Belair, and that's her husband, I believe, Montez Ford. He's good too. You got to watch this guy. This guy can fly. Like he does some amazing things in the ring too. Like if you really got to take an appreciation, there's Rhea Ripley. She's really good too. She's also going for a championship. She's Australian born, but she's hella talented, and she's killing it with her gimmick. By the way, Edge is going to be in a Hell in the Cell match too.
Edge still wrestling?
Edge is going to be in a Hell in the Cell match against Finn Balor. That's Asuka, by the way. She's good too. Like there's gonna be, I'm telling, if you're even like somebody that casually watches wrestling, I'm telling you right now, and you can talk to Mac, you can talk to Adam, you can talk to anybody that likes wrestling. They're gonna tell you, watch WrestleMania this weekend because this show is gonna be good. This show is gonna be jam packed.
I'm gonna have to listen to y'all on the
wrestling
stream.
matches.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited for
I
this
know I ain't
weekend.
gonna be able to get no pay-per-view footage.
Do you have Peacock?
Nah.
You can stream it.
Well, I got I mean I got NBC, but it's just like the basic little cable joint.
Is it the free Peacock you're talking about, or the paid one?
I think
it's probably the
paid
paid.
one.
Yeah,
It's like $5-6. It's cheap, and you can always get rid of it if you want. Too. I mean, it costs me nothing. So, I mean, $5-6 to watch wrestling pay-per-views, I'll take it in a second. Compared to AEW, where I got to pay $50, but they only have 4 major shows, so it's a difference.
So take me to the dynamic of wrestling, because when I watched wrestling, there was WCW, WWE, and then I think it was it AEW?
ECW.
ECW. That's who it was. ECW was the alternative joint. So how is it now? Because I mean, I know it's WWE, but like, where are some of these other variations or federations coming into play?
Well, you got WWE being the big fish in the pond, and then you got All Elite Wrestling. That's the other big company that just started back in 2019.
Two of them right now.
Well, no, there's more, but like the 2 biggest companies are WWE and AEW. They're the ones that have good television deals. WWE has SmackDown on Fox on Friday, and then they have Raw and NXT that are on USA Network, and AEW has TNT and they have TBS. They have what WCW had back in the day.
Which one is the free joint that I could watch and I ain't got to pay for?
Well, they're both going to cost you something. You're going to either have to find some way to stream it, which maybe would cost you nothing.
Because I know like SmackDown, that joint used to come on regular TV.
Oh yeah, it is. It's on Fox. You could watch it for free.
And okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, not the big events, but just to get up on the current wrestlers, because I'm not gonna pay for the event, and I don't even know, like, you know what I mean, who's.
I'm getting goosebumps, bro, because some of the storylines, if you watch, you're going to be watching some of the best storylines that WWE's been telling for years. I mean, this Bloodline storyline they've been doing with Paul Heyman, the Usos, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, it's been some of the best wrestling storylines I've ever seen in years. Like, I'm talking decades. It's been that good. Like, this storyline has had so many incredible twists and turns. It just gets you jacked up excited for what these guys are going to be putting on the show. And I mean, yeah, just check out Monday Night Raw on Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on USA Network. NXT is their developmental show that they do. That's on 8 p.m. Well, it pretty much coincides for Heart of the City, but that's their developmental show, 8 to 10 p.m. And they got SmackDown on Friday on Fox, 8 to 10. And then AEW is the other show I watch. I love Dynamite. I watch it every single time from 8 to 10 on Wednesday on TBS. And then they have Rampage on from 10 to 11 after SmackDown on TNT. And I mean, it's different programming. AEW is more edgy. That's like a TV 14. That gives you like the old school TV 14 if you like violence and bad language and that kind of stuff. AEW is your joint. Like, they just had a Texas death match not that long ago where literally a dude.
They still do they still do the steel cage matches.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. They have a Hell in the Cell this Sunday.
I used to like a good steel cage match. And the other one, I used to like. I don't know if they still do it or not, but it was the basically it was the where you had to climb up on the ladder and get the
TLC.
Or
you mean Money in the Bank?
Yeah, where you had to climb up on the ladder and get the
briefcase.
Get the briefcase. Yep.
That's
That
still
used to be.
there. That's gonna be
That used to
happening in
be.
that's gonna be happening in July. That's
That
Money
used
in
to
the
be one of
Bank.
my favorites.
Yeah, you get the guaranteed contract,
Yeah.
and then you get to hold it on for at least a year. And if you cash it in, you could get a championship. I
Yeah.
love that pay-per-view. That's gonna be in I believe beginning of July, and it's gonna actually be in England, where these wrestling crowds are gonna be off the chain. Like this is another thing too. I know we're talking a lot of wrestling, but I'm getting hyped up because I'm really excited for this pay-per-view on this weekend. Check out this one match that's going to be happening. You want to talk about a brutal match that's going to be happening this weekend? Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Gunther. Intercontinental Championship match. These three guys will beat the living shit out of each other. And I mean it literally. Beat the living shit out of each other. One dude, this Gunther dude, he's got like that old school like Iron Sheik type deal. That's how good he is. He's got that Iron Sheik, like evil personality, but his chops are lethal. Like it sounds like a gunshot going off. That's how loud it is. And I watched when like Mac, myself, and some of the others watched his match that he had with Sheamus at Clash of the Castle. This dude's chest was literally so beat red, you could see the blood vessels popping in his chest. Like they beat the hell out of each other in these matches. So it's going to be brutal, but that's going to be a match you're going to watch. Logan Paul is actually going to be wrestling this weekend against Seth Rollins. That's another one. John Cena is going to be wrestling this weekend.
He's still fighting.
Cena is going to be wrestling in the first match of WrestleMania against Austin Theory. Well, I can't wait for that.
Who the oldest wrestler still fighting right now?
Probably say Edge.
Edge is pretty old.
Edge and Finn Balor. I can't wait for that match. Hell in the Cell. And Edge is going to be going to his old Brood gimmick. Back when he was with Gangrel and Christian in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
The Brood gimmick. I am jacked up for that match. And Finn Balor is going to go to his demon character. Like, people make fun of wrestling. Like, why are you this old and you're still watching wrestling? I'm telling you. It's the matches. It's the storytelling. It's the performers in the ring. It's still good if you really like actually get into the dynamics of the show, of the programming. It just hooks you.
The realest thing Vince McMahon ever said, the absolute realest thing Vince McMahon ever said was wrestling and the NFL is more similar than you think. And you could take that for whatever you want to take that for. I'm not going to get into it because, I don't want to get my channel struck. But he said wrestling and the NFL has a lot more in common. I think that's exactly how he worded it. Than most people think now. So anybody making fun of you for watching wrestling, Jeffy, tell them they need to think about what they're looking at when they're looking at the NFL and the product that the NFL has put on the field, because I'm telling you, if you dig a little bit, you'll see there is a lot of similarities. That's all I'm gonna say.
So. And a lot of these people that were former football players, they're wrestlers now.
You can see Roman Reigns. Yeah, you can see
Roman Reigns.
The Rock.
The Rock is another one. John Cena was a former football player.
Yeah.
A lot of bodybuilders are actually former bodybuilders and athletes are turning into wrestlers. The woman I just showed you, Bianca Belair, she's a former basketball player, a former gymnast, a former track star. She's now, right there as well. So
Beasley agrees with you. You know what I'm saying? Tommy agrees
I heard
with you.
Draymond got into a fight again. Shocker.
Let's do it almost every day of the week. That's taxing on the body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a 365 day a year thing.
Matt says favorite wrestling related movie, Jeffy.
That's a tough one. The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Love that movie. I think it was criminally underrated. And it really gives you the tale of what it's like to be a professional wrestler. Like how a lot of these guys hold on until the very end, and some of them are not afraid to retire. Sting is still wrestling.
Oh,
Sting.
No way.
Sting is wrestling.
Well, he's by far the oldest wrestler then. So when I ask you who the oldest wrestler is, it's Sting. It's got to be Sting.
Christian's wrestling too, and I think he's still putting on great matches, and I love Christian. Chris Jericho's still going.
Chris Jericho?
I freaking love Chris Jericho, and he's still killing it right now in AEW. Yeah. These guys are all
Oh,
about. These guys
that
have been
must be where the old
fantastic.
wrestlers wrestle at. Yeah, I need to watch that one then.
Nah, there's old wrestlers on both sides. AJ Styles has been going at it since the 2000s. He's in WWE too. It's really both sides that have it. If you want edgy television, AEW is where it's at. They don't hold anything back. Like they were. I'm telling you right now, one dude wrapped himself in friggin' barbed wire in a match. Literally, barbed wire and did a friggin' moonsault on somebody else.
Does he still do the Walls of Jericho?
Yes, he does. He does the Lion Tamer as well. He does it all. The Lion Salt. He still does the Walls of Jericho, the Lion Tamer. He does the Code Breaker. He does it all. Sting still does the Stinger Splash, the Scorpion Death Drop, the Scorpion Death Lock. It's a beautiful thing. Lock. They're mentoring young kids.
Yeah.
And the one guy, you want to talk about somebody that I've been saying is like the next Rock, in my opinion? Go check out this kid, MJF. This kid is so good on the mic at 26, 27 years old. He is unbelievably gifted in the mic. He's so good. Ray's still wrestling too. Ray's wrestling too, yeah. He's been beating up his son. He just beat the crap out of his son last week, and they have a match at WrestleMania. I love it. It's some of the best work they've had on the telling you, man, wrestling's been good lately. It's been good. I can't wait for WrestleMania this weekend. I'm actually got goosebumps. I was just talking about with Mac and Adam. We're going to have our show on Friday.
WrestleMania at this year?
LA. They're doing Hollywood this year.
Okay.
Who knows who could show up? Austin could show up. The Rock. West Side Gun got me on to AEW. Well, the Guns are wrestling. Billy Gunn's sons are tag team champions. And the Ass Boys. It's good stuff, man. I'm telling you. Wrestling's fun. I'm loving it. I can't wait for Dynamite tomorrow. Or should I say tonight? So just throwing it out there, guys. A lot of people that love football and basketball, guess what? You love wrestling too. It's part of the fabric of our system, of how we grew up.
No doubt, man. That's a good plug, man. That's good stuff, Jeffy, man. Because I definitely was a wrestling fan. Growing up, man, you know, I had all the all the action figures. I had the wrestling ring.
Me too.
You know, I used to jump off the bed. You know what I'm saying? And have my little brother lay there. You know what I'm saying? And pretend. You know what I'm saying?
I used to tombstone my brothers too.
Yeah, man. Oh man, the tombstone, the DDT,
Stunner,
you know what I'm saying?
Rock
the
bottom.
Stunner, yup, the rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? The sweet
Mandible
chin music.
claw.
Yeah, the claw. You know what I'm saying? Like I had all the moves, man. And it was fun.
I still did the John Cena "You Can't See Me" thing. Come on.
Yeah, man. It was fun, man. It says PS5. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about that. Cena's on the cover.
Sharpshooter. Yeah. The finger four leg lock.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's an old move right there. You know what I'm saying? The Scorpion Death Lock.
Mm-hmm.
That's an old move right there.
Texas Cloverleaf.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. You got the crossface. Brian Danielson they just had an Iron Man match at AEW Revolution, which was probably the best match I've seen all year.
Ultimate Warrior, yup. Bret the Hitman Hart, yup. Roddy Piper, yup. Undertaker, British Bulldog, Legions of Doom.
LOD, baby. LOD.
Yeah, man. Shh. Man, Road Warriors, those was my dudes, man. Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Paul
Ellering and then Sonny.
Man, yo. Perfect Plex. Yep.
Yep, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Came back in 2002 as well in that Royal Rumble with Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Mr.
Kurt Angle,
Perfect.
and Triple H.
Kurt Angle, yep.
I love Kurt Angle. I got to meet Kurt Angle once before. That was a amazing experience.
I met Mick Foley, Cactus Jack.
I did too. I did too.
He was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
Foley.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
I the first time I talked to him, like, dude, how the hell did you able to walk away after falling off that damn cell twice?
Yeah, we asked them so because they gave us questions to ask them. It's like, is wrestling real? And is
So
it
go fall
is
off
it
a 15-foot cage twice,
and
then you'll
it's like,
find out if
how
it's
are you
real.
still there? Some kids like, how are you still living? It's like, what you like? What do you do? Like, if you're bleeding and like, because he used to always bleed. Like his face would just be covered
Pearl River Plunge. I remember the Pearl River Plunge.
all the time, man. All the
Remember he had the
time.
match he had at Madison Square Garden, where he had against Triple H in a street fight. One of the best matches ever. That's what made Triple H a made man when they had that
Oh
street
yeah.
fight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. Video on the
Video on the
top
top
10,
10.
20 best-selling promos of all time.
Ooh.
That would be a good one.
I'm going to really have to do research on that one. I'm
Mm.
really going to have to research on that one on our wrestling stuff. God damn. You're going to put me on the spot, no Mets? There's been some good ones over the years. God damn. I could think of Macho Man's promos. I could think of Cena. Rock's Rock could cut a promo. He could just talk about anything. It'd be a great promo.
Jake the Snake.
Shake the Snake could also cut great promos. He did it in AEW. All the kicks and punches. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Absolutely. Especially in WWE. What these people have to go through all the time, and their bodies just getting wrecked.
Right. But we way over time, fellas. So
I just got a wrestling tangent. Sorry.
Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro. I always let you do your thing, man. You and Coach, man. Y'all my brothers, man. We
see,
a
Coach did a
tag team.
sharpshooter on somebody.
We a tag team over here, man. But I appreciate everything, man. Appreciate everybody coming out.
Oh, you watching the basketball game?
Yeah.
Arn Anderson, yeah.
His son's in AEW right now too.
There's a Giant. Where's he at?
Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big Show.
Well, he's in AEW right now too, and Mark Henry.
Mark Henry still wrestling?
No, he's not wrestling. He's a backstage guy. Big Show does commentary.
Oh, okay. Cool, man. Good stuff though, man. Appreciate everybody showing out tonight, man. It was an excellent show as always, man. We love doing this Tuesday, man. If you could please like, share, and subscribe to myself, Unpopular Opinion Sports, as well as NYG Jeffy T85, as well as Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports and Coach Ed's new podcast, the Read and React Podcast. Please go support us. We do this out of the kindness of our hearts, and we aren't asking you for anything but a like, a share, and subscribe, which all are free to you, but help us tremendously. So thank you very much, man. Any last words, Coach Jeffy, before we get out of here?
No, just an amazing show, gentlemen.
Yeah. And shout out to Breezy, and shout out to Lou, and shout out to Mitch for hopping on as well. Make sure you guys go check out their content as well too.
And Rodney, Big Blue.
I can't forget about our guy Rodney. I'm sorry, Rodney. I took your guy in the draft, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, man. That's our bro, man. You know what I'm saying? But also subscribe to the Big Blue Crew. That's Big Pat Sports Talk. All of us up here, as well as the people that were on this show today, you know what I'm saying, as well as Classified 3F with Joel, Super Taj, Hit Squad Productions, Mac the Giants fan, Adam Costas, you know what I'm saying, and you name it. Anybody else I forgot, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? But also support Hardcore Sports Network, as well as your boy over here, Unpopular Opinion Sports, man. And definitely do not forget about my man DJ Nas and Shadow Worlds Radio, supporting myself as well as Coach Ed's new podcast, the Read and React Podcast. So definitely go support DJ Nas and Shadow Worlds Radio, as well as Go Travels and Wise Consulting Solutions. Wise Consulting Solutions is the wise choice for you to get your credit right. And Go Travels, man. Get out and travel, explore the world, man. Sports scene is coming up. Spring break is coming up, man. Go do your thing, man. Get out there, get some sun, man, and see the world, man. Don't stay stuck in the house, y'all. But that's all I got for tonight, man. We're gonna ride out with the intro, man. Like I said, appreciate the chat, appreciate everybody's support, man. And till next Tuesday, we'll be back again. Peace.